That's big gang events. That offensive lineman from Lansing, his brother plays. We were on Laurier. Last I saw 22-18.
Are we? Good afternoon and welcome to Lajeunesse Field, the new home of AKO Fratmen football. Week number 6, it's rowdy here, guys. Dominic Papa with you here this afternoon. The AKO Fratmen bring in their 4-0 record to take on the Hamilton Hurricanes, second meeting of the season between these two teams. Implications, first place on the line here.
Absolutely. We know this is a rivalry game. This has been the championship game the last few years, and you know Hamilton wants to avenge that early season loss and try to get that home field advantage, make Windsor go up that 401 and play up in their place.
Joe, the layoff. Everybody's talking about the layoff for the Fratmen. How tough is it going to be for them to get this game going and come out of the gates the way they'd like to?
Well, it's really tough, especially when you come back out for almost a month and not playing. You know, that first quarter that you're out there, there's going to be a lot of jitters. Maybe they were going to try too hard to try and get over that, and then things could happen, mistakes happen. But I think as the game wears on, it's not going to be any problem, and they're going to just settle into their groove.
All right. Speaking of settling into the groove, the coaches are ready. We had a chance to talk to head coach for the Hamilton Hurricanes. This game, how big it is?
You know, I mean, they're all kind of big games, but Hamilton, Windsor, it just seems to have a little bit more in the standings lately. We have a chance to tie them for first, but we're probably both thinking that we could cross paths a third time, so that's both teams' ultimate goal. It seems like a nice new stadium, so we're just glad to play, and I'm sure Windsor is. They've been off for a while, so.
Guys, and also it's a little bit of a different environment. He's used to Windsor Stadium. Now he's got to maybe alter his game plan. How different is it for the Hurricanes to come in and play?
I don't think it's too different from the perspective of it's grass. They're playing on grass. It's something that they are accustomed to, at least coming down to Windsor and playing in. Like you said, he has respect for this because he also played for the Hamilton Hurricanes. He's played for this league, and he knows what it takes to win at this level. He's shown that he's won, and he's not going to underscore the opponent, and he knows he has a Fratmen team that's going to be eager to really hit after a month layoff.
All right. Speaking of the Fratmen, the coach Mike Shaw has been trying to keep these guys sharp, keep a sharp edge. He had this to say about the and about the layoff.
Well, as far as the new field goes, yeah, it's real exciting to be here. The people at EJ Lajeunesse have done a wonderful job getting it ready for us, and we're excited about it. It's a quaint atmosphere. It's small. The crowd's going to enjoy it. I think they're right on top of the field, so it should be fun.
Talk to me about this game against Hamilton.
Well, it's huge. I mean, with 4 weeks off, it's almost like starting over again, and oddly enough, it's against the team that we started the season with. So it seems like every time we turn around, Hamilton's on the roster, and we play them, and it's going to be a good game. They got a great coaching staff, and they put a heck of a product on the field, so we're excited about it.
That's all I need.
Tom is trying to justify buying a new car. That should do it.
Need a good reason? There's never been a better time to get yourself into the best-selling car in Canada for 17 years. Now during the Honda Model Clearout, get a $1,000 Civic bonus when you finance any new 2015 Civic model.
It's not just about hockey. It's about getting your great education too.
Academics are equally, if not more important, than athletics. The Hockey Canada Skills Academy is a great opportunity for any student athlete to live their dream and chase their passion. It gives them an opportunity to get a workout in the morning, they're physically and mentally engaged, and it helps them as a student as well throughout the day. Our program is not just for the elite athletes, it's for everyone.
Imagine a place to climb, to tumble, to fly, to run, to glide, to achieve, where a sense of health, friendly competition, and growth all come together. Can you imagine that place, that destination? We have, and we're building it right now in Windsor, with a planned development of almost 200,000 square feet of athletic playground, and that's just on the inside. Central Park Athletics, some of it's already here, the rest is coming soon. Imagine that.
Like our champions, we know what it takes to win. Every day we put on our uniforms and we strive to be the best. Ring after ring, we keep practicing until it becomes second nature. Our craftsmen have put in thousands of hours to master their trade. And when things get tough, we make the adjustments needed to stay on top. Baron Championship rings. This is who we are.
Bye.
Great. My car's blocked in.
I got this. I think the parking brake is on. Geez, what's in this thing? Rocks?
The first kiss. She's thinking about a million things, like should I lean in or let him? Do I close my eyes or open them? But for him, he's only thinking about one thing. Did she have peanut butter for lunch?
Hey, be careful, you don't push back too far on these things.
All right, guys, we're all set. The national anthem's been played. The two teams are set to go. Our play-by-play team is also in place. So we're going to send it up to the broadcast booth for the call. Badia Kwas and Joel Manerick bring you all the action here on Week TV. Enjoy the game. I'll see you after the first quarter.
Nothing here. I got nothing here.
Nothing either. I can't get anything.
I had nothing from Dominic. I have nothing here. Check, check. And welcome to EJ Lajeunesse High School for a battle for first place in the Ontario Football Conference between the visiting Hamilton Hurricanes and the Windsor AKO Fratmen. The Fratmen have opted to defer, and they will open up with a kickoff here to the Hamilton Hurricanes. And with me in the broadcast booth is Joe Malarnick. Clark Green kicks the ball deep into the corner of the end zone. And it is bobbled, and it is handled, picked up. And the Hurricanes work their way out, and it looks like the Fratmen coverage unit pins the team deep inside their own 10-yard line. Great coverage by the Fratmen to start the game.
Yeah, that was terrific coverage. Great kick down to the corner of the end zone. Mishandled by the Hamilton returner, and was able to give the Fratmen coverage unit time to get down there and make a tackle inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, that looked like it was Jarrell Gadishaw, who is, I believe, their starting running back, who mishandled the ball, and as a result, pinned his own team within inside their own 10-yard line.
Yeah, perfect start for AKO if that's what for them. That's what they're looking for to start this game. They got a nice win behind their back. Now they got to hold Hamilton deep in their own end.
And we're just waiting for the officials to get just a few things set up. The sticks down, box, everything's all ready to go. Hamilton has come out in what looks like a balanced formation, slots. Looks like they have a pistol set. Trips to the far side, looks like he walked out. Quarterback takes a snap, looks to his left immediately, has a corner route. And the ball looks like it is handled and just short of an interception. And that was number 22, and I believe that was Josh Wright who came off his corners coverage and took that corner away.
Yeah, terrific play by Josh Wright on that corner. They run a little smash concept to the wide side of the field with the two receivers. Inside receiver running the corner route. Wright comes off the inside guy and picks up, almost takes off that ball in the air.
And that's going to bring up a second down and 10. And it looks like it's quarterback Jonathan Matea, who, again, there's just a little bit of a delay from the officials. They're just waiting to check something out. I'm not sure if it's a game ball issue. They just went to the Fratmen sideline right now, and they're just working something out right now.
Yeah, it looks like they're bringing another ball in.
Trust me, folks, this is not a Deflategate incident. It is just probably a new ball, that's all. It might not have been the official game ball for circulation.
And here we go.
So now that we have the actual game ball in play, you're looking at a 2nd and 10. Blown in, looking to his left. Matea has to scramble, gets out of the pocket, doesn't have a lot of room to run. Does make something out of nothing as he moves the ball, advances it to about the 10.5 yard line, and it looks like it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2 in a punting situation for the visitors.
Yeah, great coverage by the AKO Fratmen on that play. Mateus dropped back, had nowhere to go, and had to pull the ball down and try and make the yardage up in his own.
Now, Joe, any signs of shakiness for the Fratmen on the first 3 plays between the special teams and that defensive set?
Nothing yet. If you're worried about that kind of a month layoff, it hasn't shown its red head yet.
And back deep to try to field this for the Fratmen is going to be their number 1 receiver, Levi Noel, and Josh Wright, number 22. And it looks like the Hurricanes are going to concede the safety, and that is their kicker, Owen Charnock, who runs to the back of the end zone, gives up the 2 points, which he was kicking into the wind. So early on, you know in Canada, that is the most prudent of all plays.
Yeah, smart play there. Give up the 2 points, kick off from your own 35, and get yourself out of a hole early. We had it for a second or so. For about 30 seconds we had it, and then it was gone.
And with the conceded safety, a minute into the game, the Fratmen have established a small, but a lead nonetheless of 2-0. And the Fratmen have opted to have the Hurricanes kick into the wind. And it looks like the Hurricanes are just sort of setting up a scrimmage. Who knows what they're going to try to do? They huddle up here. A lot of kickoff teams will huddle, and then they'll break out into their coverage unit. And as Joe mentioned, the ball is going to be kicked off from the 35-yard line. And the Fratmen sent 3 deep. You do have Levi in the backfield as well as Armand Baktich. And it's a short moonshot kick that looks like it's going to be handled by one of the upbacks, and that is number 13 for the Fratmen, who looks like he's working up the left edge, and he has a little grass to work with, and that's Spencer Revenberg, and he works his way all the way up the left sideline. The importance of having hands people in those critical positions there for moonshots into the wind, Joe, it paid off for the Fratmen special team.
Yeah, terrific play there by Revenberg, coming up to play that ball, catching it in the air, and they have the wherewithal to head to the outside where the coverage unit was where there's a gaping hole.
And the Fratmen offense is going to be led by Austin Lumley. This young man has really evolved. He's won a couple championships, but he hasn't rested on his laurels. He's looking to make himself the best quarterback and player in this league. As you see, 2x2 with a pistol set backfield. Handoff to McCann. McCann has a little running room off the left. He picks up a big block, and he's still going up the left sideline, and it looks like he's going to have about 17 yards on the run, and that's going to give the Fratmen real good field position on their very first offensive possession.
Yeah, great play coming off the left edge. Cody McCann gets the ball deep into Hamilton territory.
And that's the recipe that worked for the Fratmen the first time around. They were able to run the ball. I suspect Hamilton's going to force them to possibly throw the ball. And right now, if the run is available, I know Coach Ashantz is going to give it to McCann. And again, they're in a 2x2 set. Lumley calling for the snap. Gets a snap turn, exact same play. McCann finds a hole, cuts it up. Looks like he picks up a good 7-8 yards. And on first downs, if you can get that many yards, Joe, it sets your offense up the rest of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Gets you right on schedule. It opens up your entire playbook. You can go back to play action pass on second down. You've got, what do they got left? 3 yards maybe at the most here for a first down. And they're in really good shape.
And there's no issues with field position from a field goal perspective. They definitely have the leg in Clark Green to kick this. This time they have Revenberg offset to the right, 2x2 in the receivers. McCann the tailback. Lumley takes a snap, hands it off to Revenberg inside. He powers his way forward. What looks like just enough for the first down, but we'll have to get the official signal.
And there it is.
And yes, indeed, a first down. This time they tried just a little quick hitter with the fullback, and that's going to set them up what appears to be an end-goal situation right now on their first offensive possession.
Yeah, it looks the ball placed right around the 5-yard line on the left hash. Again, the entire playbook open to the AKO Fratmen in this situation.
Once again, Lumley brings his crew out 2x2. Revenberg to the right. McCann, the deep tailback, hands off on an ISO to McCann. McCann stumbles his way forward. If he kept his balance, it looked like there was a cutback lane there, but he did pick up 4 yards.
Yeah, exactly right. I think when he stumbled, he was making that cut to back into the center of the field where there was a gaping hole to get into the end zone, but he stumbled, lost his footing, just took what was there and stumbled ahead for a gain of 3.
So I would suspect they're going to feed the ball to their bigs right now, and this is likely 3-down territory, especially considering they're into the wind, and if they can hold, they're going to get the safety back anyway. So you probably get a dose here, under center, power eye set, 2 slots, and a fumble. Austin Lumley exchange issue, and that is something that I know, and we have a late flag. But, Joe, when you are usually a shotgun or a pistol team, a lot of your practice reps are primarily going to be in that set under center, a month off. Is that the first little mistake from having a month off of game?
It looks to be, the first time you go under center and you drop the ball. So I think he's just a little anxious there to get the ball into the end zone, but there is a rough play penalty against Hamilton on that play, so it'll be first and goal again for AKO.
Yeah, and that was just a critical mistake for the Hurricanes. They can't do that. You're in a battle for first place. You need to win this. You need to win by a certain number of points to ensure that you get the home field. And that personal foul is going to give the Fratmen that first and goal from the 1-yard line. Lumley back in the gun again. Revenberg to his right. McCann deep. Snap comes, gives it to McCann off the right, and McCann looks like he powers his way into the end zone, up on his feet, and they start off with just a power inside run, and adding to their 2-0, now making it 6-0 lead.
Yeah, good job by McCann, just finding the way into the end zone for the 6 points.
And at 8, they're looking for Clark Green here, which he's had a very, very strong season. He's been kicking the ball really, really well. He has a leg, especially with a little bit of wind, from as far as 50, 55 yards. I know Coach Lachance told me early in camp that they're going to be comfortable kicking from probably 45 all season long, even if they're into a wind.
And it's always a great weapon to have when it's available to you.
Snap. And it's backup quarterback Brandon Ream who gets the ball on the puck, and Clark Green puts it through, and that extends the Fratmen lead to 9-0 with 10:25 in the opening quarter here at Lajeunesse High School in, I believe it's week 7, but with all the number of games that the Fratmen have had to miss by weeks of the OFC, with the Fratmen sitting at 4-0 and the Hurricanes sitting at 4-1. This is the ideal start if you're Coach Lachance.
Yeah, you couldn't be happier with the way they opened up this game. With that first kickoff deep in the end zone, hitting them deep, getting the safety, and then scoring the next possession. You couldn't ask for a better start.
And it looks like there's already an early switch. It looks like it's Tyler Swick who has replaced Gadishaw deep with number 35, Niall Wilson. And again, it is Clark Green who is going to kick off here. And the whistle is blown in for play. Clark Green's taking his line, checking with his coverage men. And he kicks it deep, once again to the same corner of the field. This time the ball is slightly bobbled, but at least handled cleanly, and you're going to get a return up that left sideline, and he does get a block, and he's still up on his field, and it looks like the payoff is coming as he runs up the field, and it is indeed number 27, Tyler Swick, who makes Coach Hayes happy because he made the switch from the first time around. The ball did not bounce around on the ground, and now he advances it right to midfield.
Yeah, touchdown saving tackle in that play by Brandon Donkers coming in, almost stripping that ball loose, which would have been a great start for AKO on that.
And here's where Coach Morency, and I know he's been one to bring a lot of heat, get the quarterback uncomfortable early in the game. You see the quarterback have to scramble just a little bit. We'll see if he dials up some pressure right after that special teams play. You have Matea, who's calling for the snap. Get a little motion. Takes the snap, inside handoff. It looks like it's Gadishaw, and he powers his way forward for a good gain on first down. It looks like it's about a full 7 yards.
Yeah, nice run up the middle. Good push by that offensive front. He was 5 yards downfield before the AKO was able to put a hat on him.
And they go to the hurry up. 3x2 to the wide side. Lone backfield, Gadishaw. Quarterback looks left, immediately throws a quick hitch. Looks like he had the yardage for a first down. Tackled immediately by number 17 for the Fratmen. That's Tyler Story.
Yeah, good discipline by that receiver. They're getting enough for the first down and coming back to the ball.
And it looks like we have a man down for the Fratmen, and that's Adam Slickbore. Doesn't look too serious in that he is sort of up on his own on a knee. Could be a cramp, could be just some sort of twist of an ankle, but fortunately at least he's up on his own. And while we have a moment, we can introduce the referees. They haven't been too busy early, and we hope for them not to be too busy the rest of the game. The head referee today is number 6, that's Jeff Dragic. He's wearing the white hat. The umpire is number 4, John McDonald. The head linesman is number 10, Brian Fedek. And number 12, the line judge, is Don Hollerhead. Jay Schroeder will be your field judge wearing number 19. Gary Moore is your back judge, he's 53. And John Dodson is your side judge, and he is number 73. And as Sean Haskett tends to his players, anything you see early either way, Joe, that indicates any rust from the Fratmen?
No, so far so good actually for AKO. A little breakdown in that one on the one coverage on the kickoff, but other than that, they've been on point.
All right, and as you see, the quarterback is now working his way back into the huddle. And Matea, he is a tall quarterback, big. He does have a strong arm. The key is going to be for the Fratmen to get some pressure on him here. And once again, he puts 3 receivers to his wide side. Lone backfield is Gadishaw. Low snap. He mishandles it. Now he's scrambling on his own as the Fratmen pressure starting to mount to get to him. And that looks like it's number 55 for the Fratmen, Eric Lovis, who makes the tackle maybe at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, low snap. Mateo had to go down, being 6'6", how he is. He really had to dip down to get that ball. Did a good job of corralling it and getting what he could out of that play.
And again, right to the line of scrimmage. Plays blown in. 3-by-2 to the wide side. Mateo takes a snap, looks left right away, stays on it, throws it over the top, has a receiver there. He cuts back and the ball is fumbled, and it is recovered by the Fratmen. It looked like he could have made a move to the left for the first down, but we do have a flag, and that is going to negate the fumble. We have a roughing the passer against the Fratmen. The fumble is taken off the field. You're going to see an advancement of 15 yards, and now the Hurricanes are going to hustle up to the line of scrimmage, and they're going to find themselves at the 30-yard line going in.
Yeah, it looks to be that was Eric Lovis on the penalty in the backfield. Unfortunate set of circumstances there for Eric. Tyler Story did a great job of getting onto that ball and punching it out as a receiver trying to turn upfield.
And without hesitation, back to the line of scrimmage. Play's going to be blown in, and it is. 3-by-2 once again. Gadishaw on the backfield. Hands it off inside to him, and it looks like he makes one quick little jump cut. About a 3 or 4 yard gain, taking a little bit of pressure off the pass rush there.
Yeah, Adam Chin and then Lovis again on and on that tackle. Got a lot more than we expected. There was about 7-8 yard gain on that.
Yeah, and that's going to make Coach Hayes happy at 2nd down and 3, right to the line of scrimmage again, just waiting for the ball to be marked here. Snap comes, inside again. Gadishaw looks like he powers his way just off the right guard, and there's a scrum pile, classic rugby, and it looks like they push forward for the first down.
Yeah, good job by that offensive front, driving that defensive line back and getting up for that first down.
As a football coach, Joe, you know that game shape is one thing. Being off specifically in the middle of the day on a hot day like today, is that going to be something that the Fratmen have to be aware of?
Always are going to have to be aware of that. They just have to bear down, chin it up, chin strap tight, and get to the play.
Mateo, quick throw off the left. It's batted at the line of scrimmage. Good job by the defensive line getting the hands up. It's going to make a 2nd down and 10. Well, right now it looks like the strategy for Coach Hayes is, hey, throw the ball real quick, not let get there. That's 4 throws of the last 5 attempts that he hasn't even set. He's locked into a receiver and he's thrown right away.
And that's a good strategy when you're expecting a lot of blitzing package from the EKO.
Mateo takes a snap. Looks down the middle of the field, stays on the middle of the field, throws to the middle of the field, and he was eyeballing that the entire time. He's fortunate that was not intercepted there, and it looked like that was Richard Veenstra in the middle who got his hands on the ball as the field goal team looks like it's being marched out.
Yeah, good call on there, but you're right. He's locking on to his initial receiver, not coming off, and he's waiting for him to break free before he's throwing it. And if he's going to wait on that, the pressure's going to get to him, and he's going to be able to force the ball into coverage.
All right, so this appears to be about a 25-yard field goal, well within most kickers' ranges. So you have number 47 who's coming out, and that's Owen Sharnock, who once again is the kicker punter. Ball's on the left hash.
You do not want to miss this wide with Noel back there.
Low snap, bobbled, barely on the puck, and now you're going to have a couple flags. And now we have to see. There's definitely a no yards on the back end of that, but we have to see what the flag is initially from the head referee, which oftentimes is running into the kicker or running into the holder or roughing. One of those. We'll see if it's a major foul, if they're going to get another opportunity to go.
Yeah,
we have a roughing the kicker against the Fratmen, and then they have the no yards on the kick. And if I'm not sure exactly how they're going to walk this off, but if they do, they walk it off 5 yards, and I think the unnecessary roughness is going to give the Hurricanes a first down.
Yeah, it gives them the automatic first down with the rough play, but I think if it's a 5-yard no yards penalty or if it's a 15-yard, that's the key on the no yards penalty. If it's a 15-yarder, then it's going to it'll be dead both ways, no yardage, but it'll be first down Hamilton. If it's just the 5-yard variety, it'll go up 10 yards and still be first down for Hamilton.
And now Coach Lajeunesse is asking for a conference. He wants clarity as to exactly what's going on here, because it did indeed give them a first down. It's going to be first down and 10 at the 20-yard line. And I guarantee you, I can see from the action of Coach Lajeunesse, he's saying the ball was mishandled, the ball was bobbled, the puck wasn't even on, and when that's the case, there's always the threat of some sort of fumble live action. So when you run and try to dive on the ball, that should not be construed as roughing, and in this case, they're calling that as a roughing play.
Yeah, it's a tough one by the officials, because if they don't see the bobble by the holder, I mean, they're looking at various things, and if they don't see actually the ball hit the ground, I can see where Coach Lajeunesse would be upset with that call. But the play is what it is, so we'll just have to live with it.
That's right. So the defense is going to have to make another stand here with just halfway through the first opening quarter here, with the Fratmen holding a 9-0 lead. As they sort this out, though, I will say this, the Hamilton Hurricanes offense now has a lot of big bodies on the field.
I was just thinking the same thing. 79 and 67 are two large individuals.
And they brought in 54 and 93 who look like tight ends. 90 looks like a tight end, at least in a tight end position. He might not be an eligible type receiver with that frame.
And that might not be a tight end. More of a defensive tackle.
96 is in the backfield, so they have obviously went to a jumbo package, a heavy set with only a lone wide receiver, and the conference is still taking place. They're still deciding what the application of the penalty is.
Yeah, and I believe what the issue is the no yards penalty. What was it, a 5-yard no yards penalty, or was it a 15-yard variety? Because that's the key to the whole walk-off.
And it looked like it was walked off as a it looked like it was a 5-yarder, but I'm not 100% sure, because that's exactly it.
Now they're moving the ball forward. So it was a 5-yard no yards penalty. The 15-yard roughing play gets a full enforcement. So the difference will be a 10-yard walk-off against AKO.
Yeah, which now looks like it's been walked off 15, because now it looks like they're all the way down to the 5-yard line, which doesn't make sense. They scrimmage from the 20, it goes all the way down to the 5, and then backed up 5 for the no yards.
Yeah, the only other thing that they could be talking about is because the roughing play, it will nullify any no yards penalty down the field.
Yeah, it's weird because they indicated the no yards, so that means it's usually applied in that case. We're no experts. We don't claim to be experts. We know the rules are very
you don't
complicated.
Claim to be expert. Sometimes I claim to, but I'm very wrong.
And again, we're just now getting ready to scrimmage, and the play has now been blown in, and you're looking at a 1st and goal situation at the 5-yard line, and now looks like we have a timeout. After all that time that it took to get everything all situated and decide where the play is going to scrimmage from, regardless, Hamilton had their bigs in, whether it's the 5 or 10. How can you justify this timeout this early, Coach?
Yeah, I can't. I don't know why you would take a timeout in that situation unless you had a pass play called with all those big players in the field.
All right. Well, let's hope they have something up their sleeve here, because this early in the game, you lose a timeout. Never know when that second quarter comes in, and you really need that critical down, and you want to really set it up properly. Nonetheless, we have a heavy package in for the Hamilton Hurricanes. A number of players have reported. 84 is the lone wide receiver, and that is Amitage Gill. Matea gets under center. Turns around, hands the ball off to Gadish on a power set, and he looks like he's lunging forward, and the indication is indeed a touchdown.
Yeah, Chin had him stuffed at the line of scrimmage, or maybe it was Anthony McDonald was in on there, but he was able to bounce off and land into the end zone for the Hurricane touchdown.
So after all is said and done, Hamilton cuts into it with a good special teams return, the benefit of a couple critical mistakes in terms of penalties for the Fratmen, and they're going to try to make it a 2-point game as Charnock comes in for the extra point.
And you know just as well as I believe that happened to you last night when you got a rough play on a field goal attempt.
And the extra point is good, yeah. It is. It's very hard to understand the mentality. Sometimes your kids are being physical, you want to see what they're doing, and you don't know. They just run into them. Their effort's there. I don't think in this case scenario the intent was to rough play. They say a ball down on the ground, so it was an interpretation call. It happened to be the Fratmen were on the wrong side of the interpretation there, which is fine. You can't let it bother you. Most sports psychologists will tell you the most important play is the next play.
Absolutely. It happened. So now you just got to move forward. How do you respond to plays like that?
So now we'll see if Coach Hayes is going to challenge the Fratmen return team, or if he's going to do that short little pooch once again.
Well, I don't think he wants any part of kicking it deep to Noel, so I'm going to assume we're going to see another short kick, little bubble kick to the sideline, try and limit the return.
And you do see the Fratmen return team up, hovering right around the 15-20 yard line. They have, it looks like, as many as 7 or 8 guys there in case there's that short kick. Sharnock lines up waiting for the whistle. He gets it. And the coverage team, once again, a nice little short pooch. And again, it's Revenberg this time who handles it cleanly, but this time the coverage is there, and he's still up on his feet pushing forward. And they're going to get decent field position at about their 44-yard line.
Yeah, another good job by Revenberg, as you mentioned. He's coming up to play the ball, but the players around him, they can't be looking at the ball. They're going to have to start blocking some guys in front of them.
Yeah, NFL fans know all too important, especially if you're a Green Bay Packer fan. You never let those high balls just go by you. You got to block and let your hands guys behind you handle that.
Yeah, your front line, you never want to touch the ball.
All right, Austin Lumley brings Noel to his offensive right, 2x2. McCann at the fullback spot. Quick pitch to McCann off the outside. Has a little bit of a rush, cuts it back inside, but good tackle, limiting it to a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, good job by the Hamilton defense on that, stringing that ball out, making McCann head to the sidelines, and then hemming him in.
And the tackle was made by number 32, Nick Testani. Bringing up a second down, and let's call it 7. And once again, Austin brings them up. This time he has trips to the field side. McCann to his right.
Yeah, looks like they're doubling Noel on this.
Austin looks to his left, scrambles, steps up into the pocket, keeps his eyes downfield, pops it over the top. Oh, and he had a receiver there, and that was Nathan Leader, who looked like he was scrambling or working his way to the sideline and just overshot him, and that's going to bring up a punting situation for the Fratmen.
Yeah, a little happy feet there by Austin. Got himself out of trouble, but he wasn't able to deliver the ball on target.
And as you said, they did indeed look like they bracketed Noel, so somebody else is going to have to step up, and I would expect that person is going to be Nathan Leader at some point in time. Good hold by the Hurricanes, and as you see, it's number 14, Clark Green, who comes out for the punting duties, as there are looks like some substitution confusion going on for the Fratmen, a late substitution coming up. They got to be careful before they get a play clock penalty. Now they seem lined up properly. Snap is off a little high, and he bobbles it. Looks like he has time, and he does get a kickoff and gets a pretty good kickoff as the ball takes a bounce in a favorable direction for the Fratmen. Works its way all the way to the sideline. Looks like he's pinned in, and he steps out. Real fortunate that they averted something dangerous there.
Yeah, it looked like Hamilton had a return on, so when he bobbled the ball, they didn't have a rush that gave Green any trouble back there. Green was able to control the ball and get a nice kickoff and allowed the coverage team to get down and limit that return.
And from a panic drill standpoint, you didn't really see Clark lose his cool there. He picked it up casually. He assessed the situation and was able to get a good kickoff. So at 9-7 with 4:55 left in this opening quarter, Hamilton has the ball back, and they are looking to add to the momentum they just established. Again, you have Matea, 3 receivers to his right, lone running back, turns, fakes, and tries to boot, sees some pressure, and he's wrapped up, and that is number 45 for the Fratmen, making the sack, and that is Darren Cannell.
Yeah, Darren Quinnell did a great job on the backside of that. Ball goes away, you never want to chase it, and you're sitting on the weak side defensive end. You're just sitting for a boot, counter, and reverse, and he did the exact same. What he was taught to do, was able to take Matea down for a loss of about 10 yards.
And that's going to bring up a real long situation, and if they're not careful, they may have to concede a safety again, so I would suspect they're going to try to pick up half that distance back, and if they have to punt, they punt. And again, 3-by-2, this time to Matea's left. Looking left all the way, throws a quick one, and it is intercepted right now, and that is number 6 for the Fratmen. That is Jake Nicoletti. He's working up the left sideline, and that is your classic tip drill. He eyeballed his receiver again. The receiver didn't handle it. Fratmen converged and make the play, Joe.
Yeah, and there is all-world player Jake Nicoletti doing what he does best, is make plays.
So you can't blame the quarterback on that one. He put it on his receiver. The receiver ran the route exactly what we had thought, maybe pick up half the yards and try to buy themselves a little punting ground. Instead, a turnover pins them deep in their own end, and the Fratmen now have a first down and looks like a goal situation right now just inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, first and goal, AKO.
Bot Kitchen, McCann in the backfield. Lumley with the snap, fakes it, boots off the right here, has a little instant pressure. Austin gets around and is trying to find his receiver. He was dragged down, but he did have a receiver in the area. It is an incomplete pass, trying to catch the Hamilton Hurricanes, thinking what everyone in the stands think, a run, and unfortunately the protection wasn't there for the Fratmen.
Great job by that Hurricane defense. Great time blitz. Austin was just able enough to get outside enough to get that ball away. Almost looked like he was going to get called for intentional grounding, but as you mentioned, there was a receiver in the vicinity.
All right, second down and goal. 2-by-2. Same backfield. McCann to Lumley's right. Snap, Austin looks right, throws it over the top, looking for his number 1 receiver, has his number 1 receiver for a touchdown.
Yeah, great job by Noel.
Coach, you've coached a long time, Joe. You see that, you know it's a goal and goal situation. You have your number 1 receiver out to the right. He's got a lot of room to work with. You have to be expecting fade there.
Yeah, not a great job by that cornerback on that. Let him go out to the outside. Wasn't within 4 or 5 yards of him when the ball was up in the air. Tried to get back in the play, but Noel was just too strong on the ball. Touchdown, AKO.
And a slow-moving first quarter with still 3 minutes in it is seeing some scoring right now as the Fratmen look to extend their lead with Clark Green. Ream gets it down. Green gets it up easily. And that's going to extend the Fratmen lead to 16-7. So the recipe for the Fratmen for the last 2 years, building on their championships, and now going into this year, has been make teams pay for their turnovers. The one thing they've done a lot of this year is every time they've forced a turnover, they haven't settled for 3 points. They have scored a lot of touchdowns off of it. What does that do to the opponent when they find themselves giving up that kind of turnover and then giving up the major right after it?
Yeah, when you make a mistake and turn the ball over, and it just compounded when the opposing team was able to score after that, that really puts you at a big disadvantage because you lose that possession. Now you're down those points as well. So it's a double whammy if you're the opponent.
And again, it's Clark Green. He's going to move this ball all the way to his left. I suspect he's going to go right back to that exact same corner. It's Tyler Swick once again back with Nia Wilson. Whistle has been blown in. Clark Green's just getting himself ready to attack this kickoff. Again, driving kick in the same direction as it was last time. And the ball is mishandled, works its way all the way into the end zone, exactly like the opening kickoff. And now they are pinned deep again, and we have a flag.
Yeah, bad decision by the Hamilton return there. Once the ball was mishandled and went into the end zone, he should have kneeled the ball, give up the single point, and gotten the ball out to the 35. By trying to make a play and get it out to the 5-yard line, now you're stuck again deep in your own end zone.
And usually this is a block in the back, which is indeed the indication. And now you're going to get yourselves pinned back a little bit further. And it just, like you said, Joe, you could have avoided all of that if you just concede the point. 10 points, 9 points is no difference. You're still 2 scores down. Give your offense a chance. Now you're going to give a defense a chance to pin their ears back, and you're just coming off of a turnover here.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You don't want to give that. You got to know the situations in football. That's the biggest thing in football is situational.
All right, so Mateo at his 2-yard line takes a snap, looks, fakes, goes over the top. Looks like he's trying to hit the home run ball, but stride for stride. The size difference isn't an issue right there if you're going to run perfectly with him. And that was number 32 for the Fratmen in coverage. It's Jason Kelly.
Yeah, nice job by Kelly getting on top of the receiver, not allowing him to get downfield, and the ball was just overthrown.
2nd down and 10 from their 2-yard line, and in this case scenario, you can't blame a coach for taking a shot. He took his shot. Let's see if he gets conservative or goes over the top again. 3 to his left. Mateo has 2 in the backfield with him, a lone receiver out to the right. Inside run. It looks like Gadashaw's just going to work his way up the middle, bounces, makes one guy miss, and looks like he picks up about 6 yards there, and we have a late flag from the side judge. Now, usually when you get a flag that immediate from a side judge, oftentimes my guess is that's going to be on the bench in some capacity. I can't see that being a call on the field from a player perspective, but we'll have to wait to see what Mr. Dragic indicates here.
Yeah, I missed the penalty where it came from, but if this is AKO, if this penalty is on AKO, that's a big mistake because we had them pinned deep in their own end.
Yeah, the side judge was standing right in front of Coach Hayes, and virtually somehow during the play, you saw the flag come out.
Rough play is the call against AKO.
It is. Now, did he indicate that it was a face mask or just a straight rough play?
It looked just like it was rough play, so maybe it was receiver downfield. The defender blocking a receiver downfield got a little overzealous.
So they tack on the 15 yards to the 6-yard run, and that gives the Hurricanes some breathing space now. As we get just to the 2-minute mark here of the opening quarter, the Hurricanes come out in 3-by-2 to the bound. Well, yeah, it actually is to the boundary. Mateo looks to his right, stays on his right, throws the ball. Nice little spot, and he makes the tackle by number 15, and that looks like that was Richard Veenstra who made the tackle.
Yeah, nice job by number 82, Austin Kitt, finding the soft spot in that zone, settling down, getting enough yards for the first down. Nice job by Mateo delivering that ball on time.
And so far, every time Hamilton's had a first down, they've went to their no huddle, and it's blowing in. They're ready for play. Calling for the snap. Looks like he's an inside run, and he's trying to bounce it to the outside with some speed there. He's tracked down, but manages to keep his balance and pick up a good 8 yards.
Yeah, nice run by Gadashaw there. Getting to the outside, breaking the containment, and getting up for about an 8-yard gain.
And again, back to the line of scrimmage, trying to get some tempo. Mateo takes a snap, hands it off inside to Gadashaw again, who powers his way forward, spins off one guy, and picks up about 5 yards for a first down at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, tough run by Gadashaw up the gut, getting those yardage for the first down.
So far, this no huddle has proven to be effective as they come back to the line of scrimmage once again. 3 receivers to Mateo's right. Shotgun snap, looks left, stays left, throws the out left, and he's caught by his receiver. That's number 84, who picks up the yardage for a first down and gets out of bounds inside the Fratmen territory at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, the receiver that time, 84, Mitch Gill. Earlier, he's the one that fumbled the ball by cutting it back to the inside. He stayed on the outside there, was able to get the first down, yardage for the first down, and out of bounds without fumbling the football.
All right, good tempo for the Hurricanes here. Once again, 3 to quarterback's right. Takes a snap, looks down the middle of the field, stays on the middle of the field, throws over the middle of the field, and it's Story who makes a great break on it and breaks up that pass from his safety spot.
Yeah, great job by Story, reading that curl route underneath him and making a break on the ball.
And as the referees set the ball for scrimmage, 2nd down and 10. 3-by-2 once again. Gadashaw the lone running back. Snap is good. Inside handoff right up the gut, and he powers his way forward for what amounts to about an 8-yard gain. That is exactly the kind of physical play you want to see if you're Coach Hayes, which gives your team maybe some momentum and maybe even the option of going for it on a 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, this is a huge run by Gadashaw. Real power back. Yeah, it looks like they're bringing their big jumbo package in, and they're going to go for this.
And I guess when you have to contend with return men like Noel and Wright, it's not a bad decision here. The wind is swirling. It is not in their favor here. Punting might not be the best option, so you're going to see them come in their jumbo package, as you mentioned. A lot of bodies. A lot of guys have reported. Matea comes under center. Heavy in the backfield. Turn around, quick pop inside, and we have a procedural call of some sort. We have an immediate flag, so somebody was lined up offside or somebody no end on one side, one way or another. Looks like we have short of the line to gain, but we have to see the flag.
Yeah, it depends on what that penalty is. If it's a no end, the yardage wasn't enough. So,
and it looks like the play is going to stand. There's no flag. The side judge has to call it because he probably assumed that the guy was an ineligible receiver, but he had reported. They pick up the flag. They didn't get the yards to gain. The Fratmen defense hold on what was the last play of the opening quarter, and the Fratmen will now take over possession at real good field position at around what looks like the 39-yard line, and they're going to be 1st and 10 with a 9-point lead to start this second quarter. And we're going to throw it down for a sideline report with Dominic.
Guys down here at field level.
Impressive. I like the layout, and good thing they've got the fans to fill it too.
Yeah.
So it's really good.
The intimacy is here, that's for sure. Great game. In case you follow this league closely, talk to me about this game here.
Well, in the first meeting this year, Windsor won by over 20. But Hamilton's really, to their credit, coming along, and both teams, speaking to their blue-collar network or blue-collar backgrounds of both cities, they're really bashing it out on the ground. So I expect more of the same the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's going to be great to have you here, Ian.
Thanks,
enjoy
Tom.
it. Thanks for all your hard work. Okay. Let's go back upstairs to the play-by.
And thank you very much for that sideline report as the Fratmen now get to start the second quarter at their own 39-yard line with a 1st and 10. Lumley with Revenberg and McCann in the backfield, 2-by-2. Takes a high snap off the left side, block from Revenberg. McCann powers his way inside for looks like a solid 8-yard gain. And that was the recipe on the first series that got them an easy touchdown. Coach, you expect them to do a lot of that now?
yeah, they go back to what works, right? Nice job by Cody cutting it back up inside, getting the yardage, making it a 2nd down and short.
2nd down and 2 as they approach midfield. The Fratmen are in the huddle here. They break 2-by-2 once again. New backfield as McCann moves to the fullback. Boktich goes to the tailback. Snap, quick look to his right. He's going over the top to a speedy receiver looking to make a play, and he has him in stride as the ball was kept there and stayed there, and now he looked like he stepped just out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. Again, man coverage on the outside, and Austin, once he saw it, automatically went over the top with a very, very good throw.
Yeah, and earlier in the game that we saw that bracket coverage where we had man on top, man over the top, man under, man over the top, they went away from it on that play, and Noel was able to burn them.
I'm a big advocate of think player, not playing. In that case, your player is going to make your play for you. So they go to their bread and butter inside, get a big gain, then they hit a home run with their other big player. So now we're going to have a 1st down and 10 from what looks like just outside the 10-yard line. 2-by-2. McCann at the fullback. Botkich in the backfield. He flexes out early. Low snap, dribbling back to Austin. Austin picks it up, keeps his eyes down the field, throws it over the top, over the head of Levi, but we do have a hold right away by the Fratmen, and that is definitely going to move them back 10 and make it 1st and 20.
Yeah, as opposed to the other play on that 1st down when you get 8 yards on that run initially to start this series, you're able to come back at 2nd and short and take that shot downfield. Conversely, now when you got a holding penalty on 1st down, that really narrows what you can do on that series. It's really tough to come back when you face 1st and 20 in 3-down football.
Absolutely, and then when you get to the position where it looks like they've declined the penalty, they have declined it, making it 2nd and 10, which is a little puzzling because I would figure backing them up, kicking into the wind is a concern, but they declined it, leaving it 2nd down and 10. And first of all, that was a bad snap to start, but it didn't end up really hurting the Fratmen from the perspective of the Hurricanes didn't take the penalty. Here we go. We got motion. Flexed out. One man in the backfield. That's McCann. Snap looks. Austin looks to his left, looking for that over the top, and he finds his receiver, and that is number 5. And they're just conversing right now, and they're calling an incomplete pass.
Yeah, that's almost vintage Calvin Johnson from a few years ago when he goes up, make the catch, and you come down. The ball bounced out when Russo hit the ground, so they're calling it an incomplete pass.
Yeah, and that was Steven Russo, who's usually very sure-handed, and I don't necessarily disagree with the call. You have to come back with possession. He hit the ground and the ball popped out. That being said, I think that was a play just to set him up to try to go for it on third down because he would have been around the 3-yard line had he had it. But now you're looking at a significantly easier field goal because of the lack of accepting that previous penalty.
Yeah, it was curious to call why they chose to decline that penalty.
Off the right hash, Brandon Miriam is going to take this snap. Looks like it's going to be about a 16, 17-yard field goal. Snap is good. It's down. Kick is up. Kick is good, and the Fratmen extend their lead to 19-7 with 12 minutes and 37 seconds left in the opening half.
Yeah, it was a great play by that Hamilton defender. I missed his number, but he almost got to that ball and blocked that.
So the Hurricanes avert major danger in that they didn't give up the touchdown to Levi, who was able to step out of bounds, or they were able to force him out of bounds. But now the Hurricanes, who might not have as much confidence in their return team, opt to scrimmage at the 35 rather than have the Fratmen kick into the wind.
Yeah, and that's another curious call by Hamilton, choosing to scrimmage from the 35 instead of kicking the ball into this wind.
Now, each time the Fratmen have had that opportunity, they've made the Hurricanes kick, and they've had great field position at the 45 and beyond. But 35 is great as Matea brings his group out. 3 to his left. Gadishaw in the backfield. Inside handoff to Gadishaw, working off the left. Has a head of steam. Picks up 15. Now up to 20. Still on his feet. Driving across midfield. And he is pushing his way all the way into the Fratmen territory. All the way to the 37-yard line. And what a run off tackle straight up the field as we see two players down, one from each team. And a good, solid run. And that looked like, about 40 yards on that carry.
Yeah, impressive play by Gadishaw in that. Unfortunately, there are 2 players down, one for each team. But Gadishaw continuing to show this power and was able to exhibit some speed on that play as well.
Yeah, and now we have, looks like a defensive back or a linebacker down for the Fratmen, and we just don't know the number right now.
I think it's number 55, Eric Lobus. That's what it looked like to me at 55, but I did not get a clean look at it.
And they're tending to his lower leg. Looks like it's an ankle, possibly a cramp.
Well, we went down. He immediately reached down for his lower extremity, so hopefully there's nothing too serious.
Now this might be good for the Fratmen to catch their breath, or for Gadishaw to catch his breath, because he just had a 48-yard carry.
Yeah, double-edged sword there.
And yeah, it is a left leg injury. It doesn't look like he can put much weight on it as Sean Haskett tries to work his way with him to the sideline, bring some extra help. We'll see how that plays out, and we'll try to get a report to see what his status for return is, as the Hurricanes are going to scrimmage first down and 10 from the AKO 36.5-yard line.
And if Lobus is not able to come back in the game, that's going to be a blow to that Fratmen defense. He's made quite a few plays so far today.
All right, it looks like the referees are assuming their field positions, and the ready for play is now being whistled in. Matea has 3 to his right. Gadishaw the lone back again. Fake inside to him, looks over the top and takes his shot over the top. Looks like it's good coverage there and almost intercepted. And is that number 32 once again for the Fratmen?
Yeah, 32.
Jason
32.
Kelly.
Outstanding effort on that play, laying out, attempting to intercept that football.
Now looking at that, you see the size differential. At some point in time, would you suspect Coach Hayes to go to maybe a back shoulder fade where you got a taller receiver, you could just get him on a quick high throw to the outside for 15 yards?
I think absolutely that's what you're going to look for later on in the game. if not right now.
All right, you got 2nd and 10, a lot of action. Empty the backfield, inside for a jet sweep fake, and then he is just gobbled up as you have 2 Fratmen defenders just merging on him, and that is number 25 and number 45 for the Fratmen. And I'll get you those numbers right now. I have 45, Darren Quinnell.
And 25, if you believe it or not, that's Brandon Donkers, last year's OFC leading rusher, now moved to the defensive side, playing linebacker for the AKO Fratmen.
That is outstanding. They got there in a hurry, and that put the Hurricanes in a significant jam as they find themselves in a 3rd down and 17 yards. And it looks like the Fratmen have sort of went into a cautious set just in case there's something funny here. But you're going to get a punt, and if they challenge Noel here, this is not one of those situations where I think maybe you angle punt and try to pin him back in that corner. Good snap. Kick is off in the direction of Noel. He backs up to his own goal line, handles the ball, makes one guy move, and now he's working his way up the right sideline. And it looks like he picked up a modest gain. So all things considered, good coverage from the Hurricanes as the Fratmen now have to scrimmage from inside their own 15-yard line.
But you can see how dangerous Noel is. Anytime he gets the ball in his hands, he can take it to the distance at any point. So with that ball going into the end zone, that ball will come out to the 20-yard line, even though he was stopped at around the 15 as per league rules.
So now the Fratmen do have that breathing space, as you said. Canadian football has some unique rules, and that is one of them. Any missed field goal or punt that extends into the end zone and is brought out and is not advanced to the 20 automatically moves out as Austin Lumley brings his crew 2-by-2. With McCann to his right. Hands the ball off to number 3, Kachis up the middle. He makes a little jump cut, picks up, it looks like a 1st down, and he powers his way all the way across the 30-yard line to about the 32. Good opening run.
Yeah, good job on that 1st down. A little different running style than Cody McCann. A little more of a slasher. He was able to get himself, make himself small in that hole and then burst through it.
And they have a number of different options at the backfield. In this case, it was Botkic who picks up a good 1st down for them. 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Same backfield, 2-by-2. High snap, inside trap to McCann, who makes a jump cut. The blocking was a little bit delayed simply because of the high snap, and it was fortunate they didn't have a loss. Cody was able to at least pick up 3.5 yards there. That's a couple snaps now in the last handful. Maybe that time off, that competitive play, they haven't really seen it. Low snap, high snap, a lot of heat on it is a concern for them.
Yeah, just got to be careful. The biggest thing when the play started is getting the ball back to your quarterback.
And we're going to throw it down, Dominic, for a sideline injury report.
Guys, number 55, Eric Lovis, of course, was carried off the field, but just a twisted ankle, left ankle. He is going to return. They said nothing serious. He's getting a little treatment, but he'll be back. Guys?
And while that injury report was happening, scramble rules took effect. Austin Lumley got some inside pressure. He scrambled off to his left, kept his composure, eyes down the field. A lot of times you're going to get 2 things that are going to happen. Either receivers are going to work back or receivers are going to go. In this case, Levi Noel went. Austin threw it up to him, picked up about 45 yards, and now the Fratmen are set deep into the Hurricanes territory at, looks like, the 24-yard line.
Yeah, exactly right. Noel had the shallow route. When he saw the scramble, he took off out the field, and Lumley was able to find him for a big gain.
Revenberg and McCann in the backfield, 2-by-2. McCann leaves early. Austin looking up the middle, throwing over the top to his, a lot of whistles, so that's going to be a dead play.
I think you might get a procedure call against AKO or an offside by a receiver down the field.
Yeah, my guess is that was Nathan Leader. He jumped the gun just a little bit, and the referees will let that play continue if it's only 1 yard past, but if it's 3 or 4 yards and it's a clear-cut violation, they will blow it dead and they'll back them up as the ball now moves back, and I correct the field position. It's going to be at the 34, so it's 1st and 15 now at the 34-yard line.
But good job by Lumley. Even though the whistle went, take your shot, because you never know what might happen if they pick up that whistle or is inadvertent, and at least you gave yourself an opportunity to make a play.
Very good point. As the backfield gets set, 2-by-2. Austin calling plays to his players. McCann and Revenberg in the backfield. Looking to his left, throws that high out. In this case, he overshoots his receiver, and that was Steven Russo. Looked like Austin just rushed the throw a little bit, maybe because maybe they were under the gun with the time count, whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
it's going to be 2nd and 15.
It looked like he was idling out of a play. He looked like he was expecting a full-out blitz and wanted to get off a quick throw. If he had a second chance to look at that, he had the inside receiver that was open on a curl route at about 8 to 10 yards downfield that was open. I think he would like to have that one back if he could.
Absolutely. As they break the huddle, and this time they put 3 receivers to the field side, which is Austin's left. Revenberg to his right, McCann the tailback. Isolating Levi on the right side. Austin takes a snap, looks left, scrambles off to the left, keeps working off to the left, throws it to his receiver. Ball is tipped, and it happens to be caught, and that looks like it's Nathan Leader who is working his way for about a 5-6 yard gain. Oh, excuse me, that is Steven Russo who came down with it after the tip. A dangerous pass, though.
Yeah,
Joe.
Cody McCann gets his hands on the ball pops up in the air. Russo's Johnny on the spot, picks up the ball. Gets a few yards, but not enough for a first down. That's going to bring up.
And the Fratmen hurry to the line of scrimmage, no hesitation. Their decision is made. They're going for it on 3rd down and 7. 2 by 2, McCann and Revenberg in the backfield. And they try to get a little jump from the defense. And now they're making their sideline call. They're signaling in. Austin's getting to all his receivers. They're ready for play. Snap comes, Austin rolls to his right, looks, steps up into the pocket, doesn't see what he initially wanted and is trying to drive for the first down, and it looks like he lowers his shoulder and picks up a first down.
Yeah, good tough play by Austin Buckley there. Knowing that he was going to be short if he just goes down, puts his head down, and gets just enough for the first down for the AKO Fratmen.
And having spoken with Coach LaChance, the leadership stuff that he talked about with the local media, and to me personally about Austin, is he has taken his game to the next level from a leadership perspective. And that is one of the quick decisions one of your leaders is going to make. He didn't like what he saw. He thought he could get it, and he proved it by being physical and going up. As the Fratmen get a first down and 10, with McCann at the fullback and Revenberg deep this time. 2 by 2 set. Snap comes, inside run to Revenberg. Revenberg makes a cut, powers his way through, but he's bottled up. It looks like there's a scrum forward and amounts to about a 3 yard gain.
Nice job by that front line of the Hamilton Hurricanes. They're limiting that first down run to a short gain.
And it's a little shorter than I thought, maybe 1.5 yards. 2nd down in a long 8 for the Fratmen with 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this opening half. The Fratmen holding on, or with a pretty good lead of 19-7.
Come on, Mel, get in there, buddy. Let's go, Coach.
And the backfield leaves. Austin looks to his right, sets his feet, and he throws it on a little hook curl route inside, and it looks like he has his receiver rolling forward to what looks like it's going to be close to first down. And that was number 3 with the catch, and that was the running back, Botkic, who makes the catch out of the little circle route from the backfield.
It's going to be 3rd and just short.
And they actually gave them the first down. They did bring out a measurement, so they're going to reset the sticks, give the teams time to get set, as it appears we're going to be in a 1st and goal situation at around the 8 yard line. And the Fratmen opt to huddle now that they know they have the first down. No urgency to get that quick snap quarterback sneak in.
Yeah, take your time, get the right play call, get yourself into the end zone.
And nothing wrong with using a little clock here. If you score, kill a little bit more of this half for you as well. Here we go. Just about to get to 4 minutes. McCann to his left, Botkic in the backfield. Stretch play out to the outside. McCann coming around, sets the edge. Botkic stumbles a little bit, but looks like he's working to the edge and finds his way all the way to the goal line. We're waiting for the indication, and it is indeed a touchdown. Well, you see the Fratmen going back to what they've done so well against this team, not only today, but earlier in the season, just a straight stretch off tackle run play.
Yeah, good job by Botkic, get himself to the corner of the end zone, get to the pylon, stretch the ball out for the touchdown.
2 things that stood out to me there. The offensive line did a good job of immediately setting that edge because they were able to keep stretching it, and Cody McCann was able to continue up the field and get that last key block here as Clark Green looks to extend the lead. As it sits 4 minutes exactly in this opening half, 25-7, with a ensuing extra point. Snap is up, down, and good. And that's going to make the score 26-7.
And just as you mentioned there, getting Cody to the second level and making that last block, as good of a runner Cody is with the ball, he is just as good blocking for his backfield mates, and that's what makes him such a great football player.
Now you're going to have to get the return going here a little bit. So far, although they did have one very good return, they've had a couple botched returns in this game. They can't afford another one here, because if they do get another one here, Joe, they could end up giving the ball right back to the Fratmen in good field position.
Yeah, they've been really inconsistent on their return game, and you would think that might be the AKO's weak spot today, having been off for as long as they have, but it's been the flip on that, and Hamilton's had their little struggles on that. If I was AKO, I might want to look at doing a little bubble kick here too. With the wind, and as we mentioned, they've had problems handling the ball, so he might get a shot at the ball.
The only steady person on the return deep has been Nia Wilson, but the ball hasn't went his direction. They've went to a third return man, and that is number 5, Jordan Rebello now. And that spot that they have seen already 2 mishandles as Clark Green gets set to kick off yet again.
I think we're looking back at that last drive. They took a lot of time off that clock. And going into the wind, that takes some of the wind out of the sails of the Hurricanes.
High kick, but it's starting to nose down because of that wind. It takes a favorable bounce. That's a live ball that was now punted forward, and whoever touches it last is going to gain possession. It does look like the Fratmen have established possession. That is another rule in Canada. In this case scenario, that high moonshot turned out to be a deep kick that bellied back into a moonshot because of the wind.
Exactly. That's why you kick it up high. See. Forced the return team. He couldn't get the ball in the air, so he tried to wait for it to bounce. Opposite what it is on a punt. On a punt, you have to give 5 yards. On a kickoff, it's a free ball, so no one has to give yards, and whoever touches that ball last, that's whose ball it is.
What a mistake now. We're just trying to establish where the ball goes. I don't think you can punch the ball forward and establish that extra yardage. You punch it forward, it went out of bounds, but it goes where you last contacted it, which is why you're seeing the ball now move back to the 30-yard line. Excuse me, the 20-yard line. With 3:30 and counting in this opening half, Lumley 2-by-2. Looks like he has McCann and Revenberg in the backfield. McCann leaves early. Looking to his left, looks to throw the smash route, scrambles out, turns his shoulder, throws it, and it is intercepted here. Up the field comes, and that is number 32 for the Hamilton Hurricanes, and that is Nick Testani, who's already made a couple plays. And we have a roughing play against the Hurricanes that's going to negate that. What a huge mistake by Austin, bailed out by a penalty. And the Fratmen are going to keep possession. A rough play. It didn't look like obviously it was on Austin because he scrambled out the pocket. So my guess is usually inside, if it's a rough play like that, a defensive lineman got his hand face right up into the face of an offensive lineman. We can't see that from here, but obviously the referee has a great view of that.
I think that's exactly what it was, because when that play came out, I thought it was going to be a hold against AKO, but it turned out to be a rough play, probably a face mask against Hamilton.
And now, to add a little bit of insult to it, is an injury. The Hurricanes do have a man down, and the manager is tending to him with 3:09 left and a 26-7 lead. The Fratmen are looking to put a real beating on them in the first half. And mind you, it's 4 quarters of play, but you get an opportunity to put this many points up early against your rival, the team that's challenging you for first. You have to think pedal to metal.
Absolutely. Anytime you get a team down, you want to keep them down. You don't want to give them any life. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing out of AKO on this.
So we're going to get a goal situation here. First and goal from the 5-yard line.
Yep. It no longer is a 15-yard penalty, just half the distance, because of any unnecessary roughness penalty. It goes full enforcement all the way to the 1 yard if need be.
Austin takes a snap, looks right away, quick out to Levi, and Levi just turns and catches it. That's easy. If you're going to play man coverage and you're going to give that much of a cushion at the 5-yard line, that's pitch and catch, Coach.
Yeah, no, that was a great concept by AKO, Coach LaChanson, that design of that play, where they had trips receivers out to that side, then as Noel was the number one receiver on the outside, motions back in and then whips out. It's very difficult for the defender to stay with him, especially when you get a special athlete like Levi Noel.
A lot of teams like to go press coverage in goal line situations, but they're giving Noel the respect, but in this case, a lot, maybe too much. And a 32-7 lead, and Clark Green trying to make it 33. It's down, and it is up, and it is good. And we're going to get the 3-minute warning now, but it was only a minute ago where it was 19-7. And then 2 quick touchdowns later, and 3 minutes left pretty much in this opening half. And the Fratmen have extended their lead to 33-7. What can you say about that?
Yeah, just like that, you're down 26 points. If you're Hamilton, you got to think, what just happened here? But you do have 2 minutes, 56 seconds. You have the wind at your back. The idea is get the ball, secure this return, and get some positive yards, and look to try and get a score before the half.
Outside of that one return, this has been an Achilles heel for them. It has cost them points. Opening safety, that right there is a touchdown. It looks like it's been the Hurricanes who've been off for a month and are looking real rusty, and not the Fratmen.
You're absolutely right on that assessment there, Ernie.
And we're blown in for ready to play here. And it's a repeating pattern. Clark Green getting ready to kick off once again. Checks his coverage, guys. And the kick is off. A driving kick this time, deep in the direction of, and bobbled once again. And this is number 35 this time who bobbles it. It's Nia Wilson who tries to work up the right edge, and to no avail. Anytime you bobble it, you're bound to have to restart and stumble and really get nothing. Very few people are special enough to make that happen.
Well, not only that, it gives time for the coverage unit to get down there. I mean, by the time he is able to secure the ball, the coverage unit is on top of him. But they've had a real problem today with securing that return. And I think when they look back on this after this game is done and they're looking at film, I think they're going to spend a lot more time this week in practicing these situations.
Now, history tells me, Joe, that Coach Hayes is going to throw the ball. He's always been somebody who's challenged the passing game, and he wants to go after it. And if you're not careful, you're going to leave the Fratmen great field position in a lot of time.
Yeah, you can't panic here.
Looks, throws immediately, gets his receiver, quick hit right up the middle there on a quick little curl route, and the Piles just keeps up, pushed forward, and it looks like he has about an 8.5, 9-yard gain. Good first play.
It's going to be close to a first down, actually, on that, as he fought hard for those extra yards after the catch.
And like you said, it is very close. It is inside a yard. Hamilton gets to the line of scrimmage real quick here. Defense gets set. 3 to Matea's left. He looks, turns, hands the ball off to Gadisha, who makes a quick little cut up the middle, and he has a lot of ground. You'd expect them to give up a little bit on the inside right now, not to get that home run ball, but that was too easy.
Yeah, and again, if you're Hamilton, don't panic here. You've got lots of time. 2.5 minutes in Canadian football is a lot of time as the ball stops, as the clock stops, as the ball gets reset. So don't take the ball out of Gadishaw's hand on this.
Snap comes, looks left, throws right away on the quick hook, gets good yardage here, and it looks like we're going to get a roughing the passer on top of it as the flight comes in the vicinity of the quarterback, and I stand corrected. This time it is a hold. It's going to back him up.
Yeah, Darren Quindell, nice job on that pass rush, giving those pass protectors some fits on the edge there. They're forced to hold him as opposed to giving up a sack.
So now the clock's going to stop at 2:15. You're going to get a first down and 20. And all that hard work that you had to get 3 consecutive positive plays in a row is going to be stalled for you. And like you said, though, there is time. We'll see if that one timeout they had to burn earlier is going to cost them on this final drive for them out of the half. Snaps up, he looks over the middle, holds, and taking a shot deep. And you're in good coverage there. That is that is Kelly again, number 32, Jason Kelly, stride for stride.
Yeah, nice job, but the receiver had both hands on the ball. He's got to come down with that. Nice job on Matea putting the ball in an opportunity for the receiver to make a play on that.
A little bit of a concern maybe. They looked like there were 2 receivers side by each, so maybe there was a broken route or something along those lines there. as we scrimmage. 2nd down and 10. 2:05 left in this opening half. Clock will stop until the snap. Remain stopped until the snap. As Matea brings his crew 2 by 2. 3 to his left with Gadishaw, the lone running back. Matea barking out calls. Inside run. It looks like he's looking for Gadishaw to pick up some grass, and he only picks up about 3. My guess is to force the Fratmen maybe to use a timeout if they opt to save some of the clock, but there's 1:58. You're looking at a 2nd down and about 17. You're punting with the wind, but the Fratmen are going to get one more possession.
Yeah, I think you might want to save this timeout. Don't take it right now. The clock stopped anyways because you got the change for the punting units to come on. And in Canada, with the 20-second play clock, they're going to still get at least a minute and a half with the ball ends by saving that timeout.
And that is indeed the execution. The Fratmen sideline do not use that timeout. And halfway through that play clock, like you said, at 20 seconds, snap is up, kick is up, decent kick. And it's Josh Wright who's going to catch it on the right hash, and he's going to work up the left. And it looks like he's got a little bit of a sideline to work with. And he does have that left sideline, and he has one man to beat. And looks like it's going to be the kicker. If he can outjet the kicker, and he does cut back to the middle of the field, he's working his way up to the 5-yard line, and he walks it into the touchdown. And the special teams make that has been what they have been prided on all season long. They want to kick away from Noel, and Josh Wright is just as talented. They make another big play on special teams.
Yeah, great job. And you almost seen a block in the back by Brandon Donkers down the field. But he did a nice job, put his hands up, did not push in the back, and just kind of rode his player by the football.
And wow, it's 39, and you're looking at putting a possible 40 spot up in the opening half after a month. That is 4 full weeks since your last game. And Clark Green and Brandon Riem are getting a lot of work here setting up this exchange. Snap is good, it's down, and kick is up with very little pressure applied at all. A minute 20, 40-7. 2 timeouts still left for the Fratmen, and they could very well get another crack at it if Hamilton self-destructs again.
And not only that, exactly right. And what seemed to be one of the best plays for AKO today is their kickoff unit. You know, they're going to get a shot. They might have a possibility to get a shot at the ball back just off the kick alone.
And I know we're going to end up talking a little bit at half as to what do you say to your team if you're Coach Hayes, or what do you say to your team if you're Coach LaChance. You know, they're great questions in the sense that you don't want your team to be complacent if you're the Fratmen putting up 40 after a month off. But then on the same token, you're Coach Hayes. You guys are still battling for that 2nd seed. You won't see the Fratmen again until the finals if everything you do your part. And that's what you want. You still want a shot. You never know what the weather conditions are going to be like. You never know if injuries are going to play out later in the season.
Well, conversely, you know, if one team puts up 40 in the first half, what's to say the other team can't put up their 40 in the second half?
Absolutely.
Especially the kind of talent that we have on either side of the field here.
And Clark Green is set to kick off. High kick. It's starting to dive because of the wind, and it is fielded this time by Wilson again. He's trying to work up the left sideline. Not much room going as the Fratmen coverage just pile him up in the middle of the field, and it looks like they're going to have the ball at around the 24, 25-yard line.
Yeah, I can never understand that why returners, when they get the ball, they see a wall of black in front of them, their own color blocking, and they want to go run away from that. I just don't get it.
Yeah, it's just simple. Make your cut through your wall rather than around it. Around it, that's where people are trying to get to. Through it, hey, listen, one seam and you're gone, straight line. Slightly different parameters on punt than on kickoffs for sure. Kickoffs, you can set up those sideline returns, but here we go, 110, 40-7 for the home team here at Lajeunesse High School. The Fratmen with a commanding 33-point lead. Matea takes a snap, looks right, quick throw inside to the hook area, and he's gobbled up right away. The ball is out, and it is recovered by his teammate. And that could have been another huge mistake.
Nice play by number 53, Adam Chin, breaking on that short curl route, securing the tackle, and then ripping at the football.
2nd down and 7. Hamilton at the line. Snaps up, looks left, holds, scrambles a little bit to his left. Looks like he's going to try to run it. Matea by himself, and he's getting pressured right now, and he is tackled, and he is not going to make the yards to gain. It's going to bring up a third down. There's 49 seconds left on the clock. I would anticipate this time that the Fratmen sideline might take a timeout, but you never know. At this point with 33-point lead, you might not see that happen.
I think if I had the opportunity to take the timeout, I would. You never want to give. You have an opportunity to put more points on the board. You never want to give that up.
And there's no indication that a timeout is going to be called here, which is, I mean, so far your return team's been great. Now it looks like they still have Levi back, but they've brought in Botkich, and now it does seem like they've used the timeout. They've taken about 4.5 seconds off the clock, and now they've taken their timeout.
Yeah, if you're going to do that, you should have taken it right away.
All right, so coverage unit. You can't run the risk of running any kind of fake or craziness here. You have to block, and you have to kick.
On the ball, angle it out of bounds.
Yeah, exactly. And you've coached enough games to know that a ball that goes out of bounds will never be returned against you.
That's right. Even if you give the ball up there, right where it is, at least you give yourself an opportunity to play some defense and stop them, instead of giving them an opportunity to bring that ball back, especially when in the hands of Noel.
Yeah, nothing's going well for the Hurricanes, but now the wind, if the wind's going to push anything, it's going to push it in Noel's direction. And in this case scenario, if he doesn't get it outside the numbers, you're going to see the best return man in the league handle the ball here. And now it's straight up in the middle of the field. Botkich is going to work his way up on it. He does handle it. It is going to be a no yards. My guess is it's going to be the 15-yard variety because he caught it cleanly in the air, and he had no room to maneuver. So the Fratmen are going to have 30 seconds left and a timeout, and they're going to be set at approximately the Hurricanes' 43-yard line.
Yep, that was exactly right. That ball was up in the air, so the no yards penalty turns into a 15-yard penalty. Again, another mistake by the Hamilton Hurricanes special teams unit.
And there it is, a 44-yard line. With 30 seconds left, I wouldn't be surprised if they take a quick shot, maybe over the top, see if you can get yours. But on the same token, I haven't seen a hitch yet. Maybe it's a good time if they're going to play loose coverage, you just throw it to your guy and let him make a guy miss on the outside. As Austin Lumley brings his crew. He's got Revenberg and McCann in the backfield.
And it looks like to be one-on-one with Noel at the top of the screen.
And there's that hitch. Russo catches the ball, looks to make a guy miss, makes a guy miss, gets about 8.5 yards, but I don't believe he got out of bounds. We're going to have to wait to see the indication from the sideline.
Yeah, Russo on that should have said, instead of fighting for those extra yards, should have taken the ball out of bounds to stop that clock.
And it is Corey Bazaire in the backfield, not McCann. I stand corrected. And he is in bounds with 23 seconds of Fratmen hustle to get set. And it is a second down in about 1.5 yards. The snap's going to come at about 20 seconds. Austin looks to the right, looks to the left, comes back to his hook receiver, which is a safety valve, which looks like that's Leader. The ball is down on the ground, but it looks like the Fratmen have recovered it. Fortunately for the Fratmen, with 11.5 seconds left, that is number 2. And again, I don't have number 2 on my depth chart here for the Fratmen. Cody St. Pierre, is that who number 2 is? And that's who made the recovery there. And I believe the Fratmen have exhausted their final timeout with 11 seconds left. At least they'll probably get a crack or two into the end zone.
Yeah, good call with the timeout there. You saved it. 11.5 seconds. You're going to go one shot. Take your shot to the end zone. If it's incomplete, or the ball is, even if the ball stays in bounds in Canada, you're going to get that extra, that one last play, get your field goal unit team on, and get those extra points to close out the half.
And there looks like there's an injured player, and it is number 8. That's Nathan Leader, who I believe was the one who made the catch and then took the hit and coughed the ball up a little bit. He has had a great year. He has been a wonderful compliment to Levi, and he has not done too much today. That was his first real noise. It looks like he's sort of clutching at his right hand. Maybe he got a helmet to the hand. Either way, Austin's going to bring his crew to the line of scrimmage. They did not use a timeout. It's been blown in. The clock has started. And now they take a late timeout they just burned 5 seconds for nothing because they thought they could be ready to snap it exactly after the injury, and the Fratmen were not ready.
I think actually because of the injury play there, the clock stopped, and I think the Fratmen thought they had taken the timeout and just a miscommunication there. So that's going to cost them. They might have to elect to kick the field goal here, unless you get a shot into the end zone. That's going to take less than 5.8 seconds.
Yeah, my concern is the yards they have to cover to get to the end zone, because they still need to get 20 yards to get to the end zone. So I don't know if they have that much time. But they are going to leave the offense on the field. They're going to take a chance here and hope that if they don't score, they have just 1/10 of a second. That's all they need in this country, 1/10 on that clock with 5.8 left. Bazaar and Revenberg in the backfield. We're going to get motion to a trip set. Austin's going to roll out to the right. He's going to try to isolate a receiver. We have a helmet that came off. We have an interception, and we're going to see what that penalty or who that penalty is going to be on.
That looks to be number 60. Illegal hands to the face, maybe.
And that's Adam Abusafea. And it looks like that's going to be a rough play against the Fratmen, and the interception's going to stand as a result of it. There was a late fumble, but I think they already ruled him out of bounds. And if that's the case, then you're going to get the walk-off of 15 yards. And I would suspect Hamilton will take a knee, because the play can't end on a penalty. Oh, they whistled it. They whistled it dead. So you do have a costly mistake, because 3 points, they had it well within Clark Green's range. Austin tried to force one in, did take a penalty, and as we stand at half, it's 40-7 for the home Windsor AKO Fratmen football squad.
Yeah, a little bit there. You know, Austin, knowing the time, you had 5.5 seconds to go. You can't throw that ball short of the end zone. That ball's got to go into the end zone to give yourself an opportunity to make a play into the end zone. I think of the entire first half, that was their only mistake.
Yeah, and it was a mistake. And I know we're going to have a couple coaches for you guys, one from each sideline, to give their analysis of what's happened during this game. And as you may have watched, it has been a number of errors on the visiting team. That was something we suspected could have been a concern for the Fratmen with them having a month off. But we're going to send this down to commercial before we go to our halftime sideline reports.
Canada, more than 13 million volunteers contribute over 2 billion hours every year. Volunteers support us in everything we do, and communities thrive because of it. At Volunteer Canada, we encourage and strengthen community involvement. We work with a broad range of partners to promote and support our shared vision of a vibrant Canada. To learn more, visit thenewvolunteer.ca, your connection to Canada's volunteering community.
Welcome back to Lajeunesse Field TV. Halftime here between the AKO Fratmen and the Hamilton Hurricanes. And it's a 47 score in favor of the hometown Fratmen. Coach Jason Hayes joins us of the Hurricanes. Appreciate the time. Quick assessment of that first half. What happened here?
We're just not in their league today. We'll try to make some changes and close the score down a bit and win the second half. But they're full of credit, and we didn't come to play, so it's evident. So
does it become a mental battle now for your guys more than maybe even the physical battle?
No. I mean, our guys should know that this is not the end of their season, and we can only go out and try to win this quarter, this drive. But we should not hang our heads just yet, and just keep fighting through, and maybe we can win this half.
We talked at the top of the broadcast. You were pleased with the way the team was playing. What has been missing here in this first half? And obviously not the same team you've been watching the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, we've been moving it in between the 20s. We've had a couple turnovers and gave some short fields, and then the punt return, obviously. They're kind of gashing us with the run and pass, so hopefully we can correct that a bit and avoid turnovers on offense.
Levy Noel, obviously a big game player for the Fratmen. He had a couple of big grabs, including a touchdown. How tough is it to shut a guy like him down?
Yeah, I mean, there's good players throughout the league. He's one of the best. You can't spend so many resources on him because Windsor's got a solid running game too. So right now, unfortunately, we're doing neither stopping the run or him, so that hurts.
I know you said you got to win the half. What do you want to see out of your team out of the get-go here, though, to accomplish that win?
Well, we just got to get some rhythm going forward for next week. Playoff seeding is going to matter. This game didn't really have a lot in the playoff seeding, but if we can get out of this healthy and get some rhythm back that we had in the last few weeks, we can carry it into next week.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck in the second half. Coach Jason Hayes of the Hamilton Hurricanes. We're going to stay right here, guys. I'm going to bring in defensive backs coach for the AECO Fratmen, Coach Ty. Coach Ty, boy, oh boy, a 47 halftime lead. I know I wasn't expecting that. Even maybe the AECO coaching staff a little surprised with the 33-point lead.
Well, it's a little hard to judge, in terms of the layoff. Certainly, if we're coming back from 3 weeks off, it makes you're not necessarily aware of what is going to happen. So, as a result, special teams have been really good. So we've been able to do something there, and certainly offense and defense are starting to click. So.
There was a little bit of, not a little bit, there were a lot of flags in that first half. And part of it, I mean, you can't really fault the guys. It's just that aggressive nature they play this game. But is that a concern, do you think, for Coach LaChance?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just a matter of us getting back to what we do. And certainly, guys are going to be aggressive. It's an aggressive game. Some things happen that, are not necessarily anyone's fault. It just happens, in terms of that situation.
You can see the guys, Coach Ty, were chomping at the bit to get into this game going, to get some real hitting going. And one thing you really have to really admire right now and appreciate, and you witnessed it several times in that first half, the extra effort, the second efforts. You saw Austin Lumley diving. You saw the touchdown where it was an extra push to dive in, things like that. Levy Noel, of course, a big first half. That has to be so gratifying for the coaching staff to see that type of effort.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, these kids have been chomping on the bit to get after it. So certainly we like to see that effort. Coach Morency is stressed all week. Certainly guys got to come out and they got to be aggressive and not to lay back because again, when you've been off for a while, you want to get that rust off real quick.
Let's talk about Brandon Donkers on the defensive side. His first game back with the Fratmen. He's a linebacker. Of course, he was a running back last year. This kid's so versatile. What a great athlete to have him back. What does he mean? What has he meant in this first half and to the team, I guess, up to this point to get a guy like that back in a lineup?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's a great athlete. Certainly, anytime you get a great athlete back, the guy knows the game, and certainly that helps. He understands what his role is, and he's done an excellent job in coming back and fitting into the scheme of things.
Coach Hayes just told us, Coach Ty, that the importance for them right now, maybe not tough to win the game, but let's win the second half. I'm sure that's the mentality for Coach LaChance and the rest of the staff here. Let's win the second half as well and really send a message.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime you get an opportunity you're in this situation, you don't want to let up. Football is a game of emotion, so at the end of the day, you want to keep your emotions high, and we certainly want to continue where we are.
All right. Appreciate you doing this with us, Coach Ty.
Okay.
Good luck in the second half.
Right. Thanks, Don.
Coach Eddie Ty doing a great job with the AECO Fratmen. His team up 40-7 after the first half of play here. We're going to take a timeout at Lajeunesse Field. When we come back, we're going to talk to the director of EJ Lajeunesse High School, one of the guys that really spearheaded this stadium and helped make it happen. Tom Couvion will join us. You're watching OFC Football on we-tv.ca.
Tom is trying to justify buying a new car. That should do it.
Need a good reason? There's never been a better time to get yourself into the best-selling car in Canada for 17 years. Now during the Honda Model Clearout, get a $1,000 Civic bonus when you finance any new 2015 Civic model.
It's not just about hockey. It's about getting you a great education too.
Academics are equally, if not more important, than athletics. The Hockey Canada Skills Academy is a great opportunity for any student athlete to live their dream and chase their passion. It gives them an opportunity to get a workout in the morning, they're physically and mentally engaged, and it helps them as a student as well throughout the day. Our program is not just for the elite athletes, it's for everyone.
Time actually is the principal. They call him the director here, and the French. Congratulations! It's reality now, right?
Absolutely. You know, Dom, it sounds so good when you introduce us being at Lajeunesse Field, something we've talked about for a while, to actually fruition. What a great day it is.
Well, let's talk about getting here and getting it to this point. It was tough. No lies. I mean, let's tell it the way it is here, Tom. A lot of work had to be done. There was a lot of planning. Little steps. There was bumps along the road, but credit to you and your staff and your people. You made it happen, and I think it's a great relationship with AKO that's already evolving here, and that really helped make things happen.
Absolutely. I mean, not many people get this done in 3 months.
Sure.
It's experience. As you said, the school board, CSA Providence, has done a great job supporting Lajeunesse School, and the work with the Fratmen people. I mean, Mike Lajeunesse, Mike Morency, they're just class people. Additional facility for film work and that as well. And it's just exciting for our school to have something for be part of it. And again, when you're leading 40-7, they're doing things right off the bat.
Yeah, obviously they made a statement that this is their home field. You're going to have to come in and beat us in our home place, that's for sure. For your students, Tom, when they came back to school, of course, a couple of weeks ago, and they saw all of this evolving, and you have a pretty good football program going here. What was the reaction like for them?
Incredible. And our students, we're a small school, and to see us keep taking these steps, and really, I always talk to our kids about our place and taking our place, and the students understand that concept. That's the culture we're trying to create. And when they came back and saw the stands, scoreboard, the field, the development, the football team's excited about it. We have our games. We're getting 200-300 of our own students out, which is something that never happened before. And once again, it's just it's a culture, it's an approach that's just been great for the students. And that's what high school, we talk about academics are so important, but that student engagement plays a huge role towards success, and that's what really we've been striving for.
It doesn't just stop here. I know we got to this point, Tom, to get the field done up, get the stands, get other little things in place, the dressing rooms, as you alluded to. It doesn't stop here. There's still more plans. Fair to say that?
Absolutely. And again, the board has been our Director of Education, Joe Picard, working with the Fratmen and myself. We've have some really big plans for the next few years. Just upgrading the field, upgrading all the facilities here. We worked hard to get to where we're at, and we feel this is nice, but that's all it is right now, is nice. We're really looking forward to taking that next step to make it something special for everyone.
This is a project I would imagine maybe 3-4 years to look at on the run, and then we like to look at it now, but when you come back maybe in 3 years from now, we'll see a significant difference?
I think you're going to see a difference next fall. The board's making plans as soon as the season's over to be able to start putting some proper irrigation in and taking those kind of steps. We had some issues with, you're limited sometimes what you can do because of permits and things such as that. So we've got those things in place for next season, and I think you find next fall when you come back for a Fratmen game, it'll be a lot different place even then.
It's already a great place. What I love today that I saw, Tom, your students are here today, and they're working hard, and they're excited about being here. They're having fun with this, and that just tells you about Lajeunesse, the school, the spirit they have, and their involvement in the community. What a great thing to have and get your students involved now.
Absolutely. It's football is one thing, but they're running concession stands. They've been cleaning up at times. With WeTV, different groups that are partnering with everyone, we can do a lot of things for our students, and it's just giving opportunities to young people, and that's what our jobs are supposed to be as educators, and that's my job. And I mean, Mike Morency, he's a coach. That's what he does as well. So it's just such a great relationship, great partnership.
All right, Tom, congratulations.
Thanks,
Job
Tom.
well done. We tip our hats to you.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Tom Kuvian, Le Directeur, the principal here at EJ Lajeunesse, does a great job, and we've got a great home field now for the AKO Fratmen. We're going to take a quick timeout, come back, second half action will be on tap. Badia Quas and Joel Monerick with the call. You're watching OFC football on we-tv.ca.
Imagine a place to climb, to tumble, to fly, to run, to glide, to achieve, where a sense of health, friendly competition, and growth all come together. Can you imagine that place, that destination? We have, and we're building it right now in Windsor, with a planned development of almost 200,000 square feet of athletic playground, and that's just on the inside. Central Park Athletics, some of it's already here, the rest is coming soon. Imagine that.
Like our champions, we know what it takes to win. Every day we put on our uniforms and we strive to be the best. Ring after ring, we keep practicing until it becomes second nature. Our craftsmen have put in thousands of hours to master their trade. And when things get tough, we make the adjustments needed to stay on top. Baron Championship rings. This is who we are.
Bye.
Great. My car's blocked in.
I got this. I think the parking brake is on. Geez, what's in this thing? Rocks?
The first kiss. She's thinking about a million things, like should I lean in or let him? Do I close my eyes or open them? But for him, he's only thinking about one thing. Did she have peanut butter for lunch?
And welcome back for second half action in the Ontario Football Conference between the first place undefeated Windsor AKO Fratmen and the visiting Hamilton Hurricanes, who sit in second place. And we were hoping or expecting a little closer battle here at EJ Lajeunesse High School. However, it is sitting at a 40-7 halftime score.
Yeah, and at the half, Coach Hayes talked to Dominic and mentioned that they just didn't come ready to play today, and then AKO was full credit for taking it to the woodshed in the first half, and they said they're just going to come out and battle and just try to compete better in the second half.
And you might notice that Clark Green seems to be set awfully deep. The objectionable conduct, that the rough play that was assessed at the end of the first half, is being applied here to start the second half. So he sends that ball off in the same general direction he sent it all day long, and it is touched and handled. If he doesn't touch it, it goes out of bounds. It is a penalty, and they would get the ball at midfield in essence, because that's where the option. It's going to be 25 yards where they kick from instead. Now they have to scrimmage from there on another special teams blunder.
Exactly right there. Another mistake by the Hamilton Hurricane special teams. You know, 6-7 weeks into the season, that's just inexcusable. You can't just lose your focus like that.
I guess Coach Hayes has it pinpointed right about his team. They just didn't come ready to play. Come on, big, tall, 6'6" quarterback. Matea comes back. He has 3 to his left. It looks like Gadashaw remains at the back. An inside run to him. And he has the seam, and he has a hole, and he spins out of a tackler, and looks like the pile is pushing forward, and it amounts to about a 16-yard run. Good opening play for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, and if you're Hamilton, you can't panic. There is no 33-point play. So all you can do is play every play to win that play. And that's a good start for them in this second half.
And as per the way they've gotten a first down, They always go to the no huddle, and now they're ready to set the tempo. And they go, and again, hand the ball off inside off the left. He makes a jump cut, but this time it's bottled up, and it looks like it was number 54 for the Fratmen who came up and made the initial contact, and that was Dylan Grondin.
Yeah, nice job, and then Donkers coming in afterwards and cleaning that up.
And we end up with a 2nd down and 7 situation here. 3 receivers to Matea's right. Gaddish on the backfield. Snap comes, looks left, sets left, throws immediately on the quick out to the left, and it looks like he was just run short of the yards to gain. And another mistake. I think you have to drive that road a little deeper, Joe.
Absolutely, and come back and make sure you get the first down yards. You come back, but a great job by Josh Wright taking the receiver as soon as he catches the ball, not allowing him to get any positive yardage.
And no hesitation as Coach Hayes brings in his jumbo package, which has been very, very effective for the most part in short yardage. But last time they did get stuffed, and this time they need a good 2.5 yards. So we'll see what kind of response the Fratmen are going to have to this jumbo package.
Yeah, I would accept a hard count. I would have won hard count on that, and hopefully they jumped off. But nonetheless, they got the needed yardage, first down for the Hamilton Hurricanes.
Yeah, and Gadishaw just made it. Now there's some pushing and gentle shoving. I mean, at this point in time, both teams, they're going to go deep into the playoffs. The last thing they need to do is lose a player, get any kind of ejection. So let's keep their cool right now. You do get a first down, and uncharacteristically, Hamilton has huddled again. Usually after first downs, they've went quick to the line of scrimmage. Still in their jumbo package.
I think you saw that because they had their jumbo package in there. They want to make sure that players that don't normally run on offense know exactly what's happening.
And Gadishaw up the middle, and he has a pop and a burst, and he just got through instantly. And that turned out to be a solid 30-yard run as they march into the Fratmen territory.
And again, nice job by the Hamilton Hurricanes exploiting what they can on offense and making their way down the field. Just take it one play at a time. When you're down 33 points, that's all you can do.
And again, remaining in their jumbo personnel. They break the huddle, and as you see, they reconvene, but the play clock has already started, so they're at risk of possibly getting a delay of the game as Matea gets under center. Quick snap off the left side. It's Gadishaw again, who jumps and bounces to the outside, and this time he's bottled up with a short gain, about 3.5 yards.
Good job, Darren.
And that looked like it was number 45, Darren Quinnell again, making the tackle.
Yeah, he's had a very solid game, a couple sacks early in that first half, and then making a play on a run for short yardage.
Yeah, and Troy Jowett, big number 64. Looks like he's on a knee, and it looks like he's just reaching for his eye. Now, it could be a contact, possibly dirt, could very well have been poked, but it looks like he's got something in his eye, which is going to call for a substitution. So it looks like they're bringing out number 61, Dylan Bernardi, which, I mean, obviously a lot of these guys are doing double duty if they're in this jumbo package because no one dresses 9, 10 offensive linemen. So they got their 7 regulars and maybe a few D linemen doing some double duty as Matea takes the call, blown in for ready.
You know, just a little interesting point here. You see umpire John McDonald. He is in the backfield of the offensive. That's a new change this year, getting the umpire away from the linebackers into the backfield.
And a broken play in the backfield, and then obviously in the secondary. It looked like Matea wanted to sprint out to the right for a play action, but his whole backfield action went left, and then his receiver broke out, and Matea threw it over the middle.
Yeah, he thought the receiver was going to run a post pattern, then the receiver went to the corner. Miscommunication there. Good thing they got it. They threw it away to no man's land because that could have been intercepted by throwing it away that way.
And an easy call here for Coach Hayes. He's going to leave the offense on there, and we have a whistle, and I'm not sure if that was a timeout. And this is a concern for if you're a Hamilton Hurricane fan. That's number 22. That's Gadishaw. He has been the shining light for this Hurricanes team, and he is walking off the field right now. And he is replaced by, I believe that's 35, Nia Wilson, on a critical third down play early. Because like you said, you play one at a time, but if they can get points on this opening drive, it sets a little bit of a tone for you moving forward. With 11 minutes left, in this third quarter. Matea drops back, looks left, stays locked in, and he stayed locked in on his receivers, and Brandon Donkers missed the ball.
Yeah, throwing right to Donkers. I'm sure he wishes he had that back. I think he was looking, and he's had a lot of green in front of him and wasn't able to handle that ball cleanly. But again, you're right. Matea locking on to his initial receiver, and that's all he's going to. If that receiver is not open, he's still trying to force it.
Now, in this case, it wasn't as penal in the sense that it was a turnover on downs, but he did have a lot of green grass in front of him, and we know his speed from last year as a ball carrier. He can handle the rock when he has it. Unfortunately, he didn't catch the rock. Now the Fratmen come out with Revenberg and McCann in the backfield, 2x2, shotgun set. Lumley comes in, looks like a play action. He looks like he's going for the home run ball, and he throws it up over the top to Levi Noel. Levi Noel jumps, gets his 1 foot. Ooh, it looked like he had his 1 foot in, but it was waved immediately out.
Yeah, when he left the field to play, he jumped up to get the ball. When he jumped up, his feet were in bounds. When he landed, that foot landed out of bounds. Was able to make the catch, but he was out of bounds.
All right, we have 2 fouls now. It looked like we had an unnecessary roughness on the defense, and we had an objectionable conduct on the offense. And because the hat came off after the flag, and when you run out of flags, you throw your hat. So we have roughing the passer against Hamilton, an objectionable conduct against Windsor. So it's going to go up 5 yards, but I believe it's going to reset the downs at 1st and 10.
Yep, anytime you get a major foul, that's an automatic first down regardless of what happens the rest of the play.
As we see Jeff Dragic go and mark it off, and that is indeed the case. They walked it off 5 yards. The umpire, Mr. McDonald, moved that thing up 5 yards. And it is 1st and 10 for Windsor. Backfield remains Revenberg and McCann. And they isolate Levi Noel to Austin's right. Looks left, throws left. It looks like somebody stopped or cut off his route, and that was number 2, Cody St. Pierre. I heard it all the way from across here. Coach Lashanti, keep going. I think he wanted Cody to keep working all the way to the sideline because that sideline was indeed open.
Yeah, it looked like it was a flood concept where you got receivers at 3 different levels, short, intermediate, and deep, and he was trying to hit the intermediate route, and you're right, Cody St. Pierre broke that off and tried to hook it up instead of continuing on his route to the sideline.
All right, so 2nd down and 10. Revenberg to the right of Lumley. McCann deep in the backfield. And they try an off-tackle stretch play. McCann has a lot of grass, and he makes them miss, and he's now up the right sideline, and he is beating people with some speed. He's working all the way up the right sideline, stays in bounds, gets an effort from Levi Noel to make the block, but they pick up a big gain on an off-tackle, well blocked by the offensive line. Lead block from Revenberg sets it, and McCann uses some shiftiness and some speed to work his way through the point of attack and up the right sideline for a 60-yard run.
Yeah, outstanding run by Cody McCann on that. Not known for his speed, but was able to, when he gets out in front, it's tough to catch him and bring him down.
Makes me very proud, Coach. Both those guys in the backfield played for me at the high school, and for 4 years, I think they each had about 200 carries a year. And it made coaching real easy when you can give it to horses like that.
Yeah, definitely workhorses. We've had Cody over it with the Essex Ravens as well, and you know what a great player he is.
Lumley takes it, fakes the stretch to the left, sets that play action, and Austin just cannot set his feet, but then resets, and he throws it to Revenberg, who this time was unable to make the twisting catch, and it falls incomplete, bringing up 2nd down.
Yeah, I think Austin tried to throw that initially, and he saw that it was going to get maybe batted down, so he pulled that back down and tried to reset and hit Revenberg again. Just an incomplete play, brings up 2nd down and 10.
And some personnel changes here. You see Revenberg come off the field. It looks like number 18, that's Dallas Boo, comes off the field as well. Make some personnel changes. I wouldn't be surprised to see another run here. They've had some success. But then again, you have Levi Noel, and looks like he's in single coverage on the outside once again. Austin looking that way, comes back to the middle, has a receiver over the middle, and that's Nathan Leader. Looks like it's number 8 who makes the stab, and that is indeed the catch.
Yeah, outstanding catch by Leader on that, going up to catch that ball at its highest point, and coming down, keeping his feet in the end zone for the touchdown, AKO Fratmen.
And some subtleties. Joe, unlike what Matea's been doing, locking into the receivers, Austin just simply looked over at Levi, and that was just enough to move the deep middle safety over and allowed Leader to have plenty of room to operate over the middle of the field.
And that's the maturation you're seeing from Austin Lumley, being able to scan the field, move the free safety with your eyes, and it makes your job a whole lot easier when you come back to that.
And we have Clark Green here, who has had a lot of work. Snaps down. Brandon Riem does a good job getting it. Kick is good, extending the lead to 47-7. It's a 40-point lead here. And now, again, maybe a little circus ride again. This kickoff return team has already had several mistakes. We'll see what happens this time.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder, when do you bring in Brandon Riem and some of the other guys and give him some reps at that quarterback spot? You're up 40 points in the third quarter. You never want to come out in that second half and sit your starters to start that first drive in your second half. But maybe now Coach Johnson might want to look to bring in some extra players and get them some quality reps against a very good opponent.
Yeah, I agree with that. Maybe one more series, and at most, unless something absolutely critical or crazy happens. But on that same token, the missed opportunity of losing out on a forfeited game earlier and having a month off, sometimes you're just looking at getting reps with your number one, because their timing has to be reestablished, because now is the time where they're getting set for a deep playoff run.
Yeah, another good point with that. That's for sure. But you'd much rather have those decisions to make as opposed to being decisions if you are with the Hamilton coaching staff.
Absolutely, and you never know with the way the season plays out, so maybe if something does happen to one of your starters, these guys do get reps, and like you said, against a quality opponent, they're ready to take on that challenge. As the play has been blown in, and Clark Green once again looks to kick this thing deep. And he kicks it deep, and it's Nia Wilson who handles it this time. He goes straight forward. Looks like he has a good pickup of about 16 yards, which that's all you want to do. If you can catch the ball cleanly, move forward, and get a first down, maybe 2 first downs worth of your return, you're never going to have poor field position. Might not be great, but you're definitely not going to have poor starting position.
Yeah, just don't put yourself in a deficit to start.
Would you like to see Coach Hayes do something maybe a little different with his offensive tempo or his personnel moving forward the rest of this game?
No, I think you just stick with what you've been doing. I mean, you've had some modicum of success. You just need to string those along a little bit more.
And no Gadashaw. Fake handoff, boot inside, and the containment has been broken. He has an open receiver, and he misfires to Jordan Rebello. It was a good fake. The Fratmen got lured in. The end man on the line of scrimmage, I believe that was Devontae Pierce, got drawn all the way into the run action and lost his containment. But fortunately for the Fratmen, the ball falls out of bounds as it was slightly overthrown.
And that's kind of the MO on Matea. He's a quarterback that when he's on, but when he's off, he's off as well. So he gets a little bit erratic.
So we have a second down and 10. And 3 receivers to Matea's right. Again, it's Nia Wilson in the backfield, not Gadashaw. Quick right, looks like he was trying to set up some sort of draw. And his running back vacated, because I saw 3 or 4 linemen already downfield, 55-54. So personnel issues now with Gadashaw not in. It looks like Nia Wilson had a miscue on the play, and it's going to force a punting situation.
I think you're absolutely right there. That was a draw play because the receivers were blocking downfield as well. And when Wilson took off, Matea had no other choice but to try and force the ball into coverage.
Yeah, and you can ask Nick Saban about this. He can't stand when linemen are down the field. Last week against Ole Miss, there were linemen down the field on a touchdown play. That ball was thrown as a forward pass, and there was 2 linemen 5-6 yards down the field.
But you know what? In the Canadian game, you can be downfield on a pass as long as you're engaged with a defensive player.
And here's the punt. It looks like it's a new punter again. This one's short. It's Josh Wright who works it. And he looks like he has some room around the right sideline, and he does indeed have some room. He's working up that right sideline, and his speed's there, and he just turns it out of bounds, avoids any kind of risk of contact there. Safe play for him, but that sets up the Fratmen at around the 30-yard line going in.
Yeah, great return by Wright. And you're exactly right there at the end of that. Don't force anything. Don't try and cut back inside where you can get yourself in a position where you might fumble the football. Get the ball out of bounds. Give it to your offense in plus territory.
only question I would have for you at this point is why are they still kicking it in the middle of the field?
Well, that goes to the question of their special teams the entire day. They've had miscues up and down the lineup.
All right, so we do see one personnel change. McCann is no longer in. It's Revenberg and Bezaire in the backfield. Austin looking left. Quick throws over the top. He has Levi again, and he has him in the corner of the end zone, and that's a touchdown.
Yeah, that's stealing right there. You have your best receiver in Ontario, possibly the country, lined up man to man. I'll take my shot every day with that.
Yeah, and it's maybe they're trying to emphasize a point of maybe practice and coverage, and they're trying to force them into their players. Coach Hamilton or Coach Hayes for Hamilton is trying to get his guys to maybe man up and challenge themselves, because that is straight man. I don't know if that's a good confidence mentality, but that's easy. It's a pitch and catch. I would suspect that we're not going to see much of Levi or Austin, for that matter, as McCann had already left the game on that series.
Yeah, I think that you're exactly right there. That's why they went to that, because that was going to be their last opportunity.
And the kick is up. Kick is good. A little bit of penetration there, but nothing that's going to cause too much of a stink, as the home team has now extended their lead 54-7. And not that I'm surprised that the Fratmen have been able to pick up where they left off. I am a little surprised that Hamilton has not shown up for this game.
Yeah, and then, Coach Hayes talked about it at halftime. They just want to be able to come out in the second half and compete and at the level of AKO, and it's just not happening right now.
Now, as Clark Green tries to kick off again here, maybe they try some coverage things. Maybe they try a squib here. Maybe the Fratmen use this as a practice set. I know it's been working great for them, but at times they may have to go to some things along those lines. But while we have a second here, we know that the Windsor AKO Fratmen have another game on October 3rd, and they have to go to London, and you would suspect that it's a London team that is going to be much improved, considering it's about this time now where all of their Western Mustang editions are now taking flight and learning the system and understand what's going on. And it is Wilson again who catches the ball, and he is just gobbled up, and he's tackled at around the 23, 22-yard line.
Yeah, outstanding again. Coverage by that AKO front. Getting down there, Green gives them a great opportunity with the high kick deep into the corner of the field of play, that the coverage team just gets down there in great time, limiting any kind of return by the Hurricanes.
And it looked like it is Mateo once again. Offense comes out, 3 to his left. Wilson in the backfield with him. Fratman up, and looks like a little bit of more of a press coverage. Quick throw inside to the slot. That's number 38 who makes the play. And that catch was made by Doug Granger.
Yeah, nice job by Mateo, seeing the blitzer coming from the linebacker spot, threw it to the void in the defense, and good job by the Hurricanes on first down.
And again, quickly to the line of scrimmage, 3 to the quarterback's left. Mateo looking, quick look left, then right, and then batted out of play by number 16.
It's Jay Persick.
And yeah, Jay Persick, and I'm assuming they're going to be calling a pass interference.
Yeah, I got there just a shade early as he tried to knock that ball down. Came through the receiver. That's going to be a spot foul because it was below 15 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 Hurricanes.
And you know, if you are a defensive coach, you hate that call because you think that the timing is there. He didn't turn his hips. He was able to just sort of go over the right side of his shoulder. But if contact's made, contact's made. And here we go to the line of scrimmage, 45-yard line, 1st and 10. Quarterback looking up the middle, throws over the middle, has a receiver on a dig route. Nice jump cut there, but a sure-handed tackle, and that is Perisic again.
Yeah, and going back to that last play, I would tell I would tell Jay, you know what, don't play that any different. Sometimes they're going to make that call, but more often than not, they're not. And you just play at full speed.
And they hurry up to the line of scrimmage after about a 20-yard gain. They're in the Fratmen territory at the 52-yard line. Snap comes, looking left, throws a deep out left. The DB slips there, makes a catch, and another first down gain. And it looked like it was number 31 for the Fratmen. Trey Hill just lost his footing and couldn't make a break on the ball.
Yeah, and you're seeing a lot of different players in there for the AKO defense, and that's okay. You got to get these players into some game time situations and see what they can do, because when down the road, when they need to step up, they've been tested.
Yeah, and with such a big lead in 3 minutes and change, this is going to be valuable reps and film, so guys can learn and study off of it. As Matea takes the ball, looks to his right, stays on his right, throws the deep out to the right, has his receiver, and that's just showing, what an unfortunate miss. His receiver, number 84, dropped the ball, and that is Amitaj Gill, after you see Matea showing off his strong arm.
Yeah, that's definitely disappointing. When you get a play and you get an opening to take advantage of something that's there, and everything is on time and on pace, and just a mishap, and he drops the football.
And after a quick huddle, Hamilton comes out, 3 to the short side of the field with some motion over to the wide side of the field. Wilson's in the backfield, and they hand it off inside, run to him. And you can just tell he doesn't have that same sort of just timing, rhythm, even speed as Gadishaw.
Yeah, Gadishaw is definitely a downhill runner, and Wilson seems to be a little tentative getting that handoff. That's definitely hurt Hamilton in this game, especially in the second half and in their run game.
Serious or not, I'm not guessing we're going to see Gadishaw the rest of the game, just because he has been the lone bright spot, and I would be pretty comfortable saying he has over 100 yards rushing, because he had 2 pretty long runs. So that's something at least they can go forward and build from, as Matea comes back with his group, trips to his right, snap, pumps, and this time goes over the top, over the middle. Looks like he has a receiver there, and unfortunately the wind looked like that took it a little over his right shoulder, a little too far.
Yeah, initially it looked like he was going to just run underneath that, and then he turned back up into the inside, and when he should have stayed on the outside. Unfortunately, that's an incomplete pass on third down. That'll be 1st and 10 AKO.
Another turnover at downs, which does go in the stats in Canadian football as a turnover. And that's going to set up the Fratmen 1st and 10 at the 34.5-yard line.
Yeah, and here comes Brandon Riem, as we talked about. He's coming in and take over the offense in this third quarter. He gets some good, solid reps.
Usually the only position that doesn't get very much relief is offensive line, but with larger home dress rosters, you might be able to see a couple extra offensive linemen get some time as well. So with Brandon Riem now at the helm, he has his guys set 2 by 2. Bezaire leaves the backfield. McCann steps up. Riem looks to throw the quick out. Good timing on that. Gets it out quickly. It was a fluttery ball, but St. Pierre ran a quick route, caught the ball, picked up 7 yards. You can fix the throw. The timing of it was done well.
Yeah, very good opening play when you bring in a quarterback. Give him a nice safe throw, give him a nice easy read, and complete the pass, get him some confidence to move forward. One thing you're going to get with Riem, too, he is definitely a threat to run with the football.
I saw that firsthand, because I know a couple years ago he beat up my team in one of the conference finals in high school football. And now it looks like they're going to get Bezaire a little bit of a carry, and you can just tell the subtleties. Now he's going to be about a half yard short, but the one thing is, in this case scenario, he doesn't have as much of the vision as some of the other running backs. He just barreled into his lineman there, and he did have a seam that looked like could have been exploited.
Yeah, and I think, and that's, you're going to get these reps, and you're going to see that, and he's going to be able to be better for that, because if you're not in the game and that doesn't happen to you, you're never going to know how to fix it.
Now, there's a little concern if I'm Coach LaChance, because De Silva came up and he was just a little bit gimpy. But look at this pile push forward, and Brandon Riem, they picked up 5 full yards there. That was easy, as you got big number 51, Jacob Benson, just taking his lineman 15 yards down the field. We were both offensive linemen. That's the way we played. You love to see that.
Yeah, and Benson, you get that every play with him. He's going to block from whistle, right from the snap to the echo of the whistle, and sometimes a little later than that.
So the bigs got a little roll there. Brandon was comfortably able to pick that up. And again, Bezaire in the backfield with McCann. Hard count, no one jumps. And you get Bezaire off the left side with a little bit of speed this time, but it's closing down pretty quickly on him, and it looks like it's going to be a 2-yard pickup. And we do have a new fullback now, and that's number 30. And I'm not sure exactly who that is, but it looks like it is Vinny Sharapa.
Sure. Yep, out of Villanova High School. Again, good quality reps for these guys.
And now that the quarter is ended, we're going to have another sideline report from Dominic.
Level 3 quarters complete. The Fratmen behind the scenes, he's taken on a role with the team. Joe Claroux, by the way, got to be very gratifying for you to see this to come to fruition here today.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd like to start out thanking our fans and actually thanking the Hamilton fans for making the long trip. And we got a really good product on the field.
Tell me about getting involved here, Joe, and giving back to this Fratmen organization, why that became a priority for you.
Oh, I just think that, this program gave a lot to me, and this is my way of paying it back, so.
Okay. Obviously a comment on the game today. These guys are looking pretty good.
Yeah, we have some all-star players here, and it's very exciting to watch the Fratmen football these days.
To have you in the fold again, Joe, great to see you. I remember watching you and covering you when you played. You were great then, you're great now. Thanks. Joe Claroux helping us out here. Back up to the guys in the broadcast booth.
Thanks, Dominic. And if I can put my little plug in for Joe Claroux, I was a 19-year-old out of Brennan coming to play AKO, and I was the center, and Joe Claroux was an all-conference nose guard, and he practiced like it was a game. Boy, was I anointed. It was a baptism by fire going up against that man. He was a violent defensive tackle. And the Fratmen are forced to punt. Clark Green, I think this is his first punt attempt. Oh, sorry, there was another bad snap. The last time was a high snap. This time was a low snap. A good driving kick up to the left. Takes a favorable bounce, and that ball is live. That ball touched him, and it's a pile. It's a scrum. We're going to find out who recovered it, and it looks like it is Hamilton got back on top of it. Another special teams gaffe.
Yeah, I think during film and during their practice week, Hamilton is going to be immersed in special teams practice. Unfortunately, as Dominic was doing that interview at the end of the quarter there, on that second down, Braden Ram made a nice throw to a comeback that had enough yardage for the first down, but it was dropped as he was getting hit. It forced the AKO to attempt their second punt of the day.
So now with 13:30 and counting left in this game, Hamilton brings out their crew again. It's still Matea, and he has 3 to his left. Multiple substitutions on the Fratmen defense. Looks right, throws right, hits his big receiver, who's piled up by 3, but it looks like he has enough for the first down, and that's Gill once again with the catch.
Yeah, good job by the defense, though. You're going to give that little out to the outside and then rally to the football, and they did that with 3 players. So it's good flow from the defense there getting to the ball.
And once again to the line of scrimmage relatively quickly. 3 to his left once again. Matea looks left, throws left, quick hitch, and it's now bottled up real quickly as the linebacker gets there in a hurry. And who is that, number 9 for the Fratmen? And that's Dalton Gilmore.
Yeah, good job by Matea, Gary. Seeing the blitz coming from his weak side, he was able to get the ball off. Even though it was only a gain of 3, he avoided the sack and getting a hit.
Second down and 7. 3 to his right. Matea looks right, stays to his right, wants to go over the top, has somebody over the top, and it was blown coverage. You would expect a few coverage issues at this point. They've changed a lot of personnel. That looked like it was Perizic who was maybe confused as to whether or not he was supposed to be going deep. Missed opportunity for Hamilton as they have to punt once again.
Yeah, I think they had, the second man through the zone there, the inside receiver, first inside receiver curled up earlier. The free safety came down on that. That allowed the outside receiver to come in behind free, and unfortunately Matea just overshot.
But on a positive, the protection seemed to hold up, giving the quarterback time to step up and deliver a deeper pass as they bring their punt unit out, and it is Josh Wright and it is Levi Noel. I'm a little surprised to see both of these guys back. But then again, special teams, a month off, they haven't had a lot of reps, and they might just need these reps.
Yeah, special teams, especially in these games, that when you make a lot of changes, you kind of leave your special teams the way they were.
Short kick, and this case scenario looks like it was touched, but Josh Wright does get it on the bounce here. But it's a new kicker in the equation. I think I had number 88 kicking the ball this time, and that looks like it is Aldis Dabus Witola. And that's not the normal kicker of Owen Sharnock, and Sharnock was the one who did all the punting and the kicking earlier. So I'm not sure if that's another injury, but there's been a couple obvious injuries, Gadashaw being the number 1 injury for the visitors, and then it was Clovis who was the injury for the Fratmen earlier, but we did get the report that he was going to be just fine.
Yeah, and in the score of today's game, you don't need to bring him back in. Just rest him up and get him ready for London next week. And it looks to be a timeout by Hamilton. They don't have enough players on the field, so they have to blow a timeout to get their players situated. They're in the same boat as AKO is. When you're changing up, you're making a lot of different substitutions, get guys reps that they don't normally get. Sometimes you get a situation where a player doesn't come on that he knows he's supposed to be on the field.
And I would suggest that that's okay taking the time out there. You're not conserving timeouts at this point in time to get back in the game. You just want to make sure you're the guys that you have are executing, and it's a lot harder to execute when you only have 11 on the field.
Absolutely right.
And now the Fratmen, with the exception of the offensive line, it looks like all brand new personnel in the entire offensive secondary, their whole backfield, their perimeter, new receivers. So it's good. And a full quarter of play, a quarter and a half actually. I wouldn't be surprised to see some more throws because you still got to get these guys some work.
Absolutely.
But I wouldn't be surprised to see DeRubis, who's now in the backfield, getting a couple carries. Things like that need to be worked out. Looked like Brandon had to keep that off the right side there, and he picked up about a yard and a half.
Yeah, it looked like they were running a little read option there, and Brandon chose to pull the ball on that. Maybe he thought he saw something that he could take advantage of. Good job by Hamilton and hemming him in.
That brings up a second down and a long 9. They only picked up about a half yard there. 3 receivers to his left. We're going to sprint out Ram to his left. He's going to throw to the sideline over the top, and a good throw, and he has his receiver, and that's number 7, Demetrius Ka. Good timing, good throw. The one thing Brandon does bring is some speed. Coach, you know that firsthand.
Yeah, and that was a very difficult throw, made look very easy by Brandon by rolling out to his left and then throwing it as a right-handed quarterback. But he's able to square his shoulders and deliver the ball on time, and in a good position for Demetrius Ka to catch that and head upfield and get a first down.
And that brings up a first down and 10 at the Hamilton 47.5-yard line. 2-by-2. DeRubis in the backfield. He gets his carry up the middle, and he hits it hard with some speed. And this is more of a fullback type getting a carry here in front of the home crowd. You hear some cheers for him. Well, that's a good tough run, picking up about, I'd say, a good 4.5, 5 yards.
Yeah, good job by DeRubis. You know, those players that, you know, they're at practice every night, and they're giving everything they have, especially when they play on their scout team. Those guys, when they get an opportunity, you know, your starters really like to see those guys excel when they get their opportunity. Good job by DeRubis on that carry.
Right now, one thing I'm impressed with, Joe, is the fact that they've made some substitutions, but everyone's kept their cool. I think that's important because all of the players on the field right now understand that they have a long season, but they also want to get some reps here as we see Brandon try to throw the out again to DeRubis, who does not stand nearly as tall as Ka, so it was an overthrow.
Yeah, they had a little two-man route going to the outside with Ka going deep, and then DeRubis to the flats, and nothing was there. So Brandon just throws a little high. There's no chance of that being intercepted. That's okay, and incomplete pass. Punting's not a bad option.
No, not at all. Because the reality of it is, at some point, you're going to have to execute a perfect punt to win you the game. I would not be surprised to see Clark Green just pin at the sideline and try to hit a 35-yard punt. It looks like his posture as we stand at him looks like he's angled a little bit. So this is something that you get, very rarely do you get an opportunity to execute practice-type plays in game situations.
And that's indeed what he tried to do, and he shanked it.
Yeah. So maybe he needs a few more practice reps.
Right. But at the expense of not losing a game, and you do get it in game situations. Yeah, and there you take a look at a nice banner there. Proud sponsor of the Fratmen is the We-TV, and that is us right here, www.we-tv.ca. Proud sponsors of Fratmen football and the Ontario Football Conference. And like it says, we got you covered.
Much like most of the defensive backs for the AKO Fratmen today, covering those Hamilton receivers.
It has been a struggle. It has been. And now it does look like we have a backup quarterback in. I'm just trying to identify a number. Looks like it's number 11, and that means it's Denzel Roca, who throws quick to the outside, hits his receiver. Good, solid, positive gain of about 8 yards.
Yeah, nice throw there. Nice velocity on that throw. Low and outside, so the only person that can catch that is receiver.
And that was 84 again. Gill, I believe, with the catch. And they've targeted him an awful lot.
Well, he's a big body out there for sure, but he's been a little bit inconsistent. He had that fumble earlier in the game when he had a chance to get to first down, and he had a drop earlier as well deep down in the field.
And Roca brings 3 to his right. A little motion across. Inside to Wilson. Wilson tries to bounce it. Has a little bit of room, but you can tell he just doesn't have as much speed as Gaddishaw. And you get a hit from number 17, Tyler Story, who it looked a little worse than I think the fans are reacting to.
Yeah.
Because he grabbed him by the shoulder and it upended him a little bit.
You know, especially when you're on the short end of a 54-7 score, anything like that gets exasperated. Just a simple play. Nothing wrong there. First down in Hamilton. But you saw on that run, he had an opportunity to hit it upfield, and he chose not to. If that was Gaddishaw, he's up into that seam earlier.
Absolutely. He still picked up 8 yards or so. Gave them a first down as Roca brings 3 receivers to his left this time. Looks left. Throws over the middle, has a receiver on a little bit of a smash concept, and he overshoots him.
Yeah, good read, though, by Roca. Throwing to the corner route. He just missed his receiver.
And I know Coach Hayes, he's going to keep throwing. He loves to throw. He loves quarterback play. He was a quarterback himself in all-conference. I believe he was an all-Canadian in his senior year with these very Hurricanes, and he will give this kid an opportunity to show what he has for these last 6.5 minutes or so. 2nd and 10. Roca gets a snap, looks left, quick out, has his receiver, that's number 85, who makes it stop, but is piled up short of the first down, and that Story with another solid hit.
Yeah, nice job by Roca again, though. That's a long throw, and he was able to put that ball right on the money. Gain of 7 yards, that brings up 6 yards. That'll bring up third down. They're obviously going to go for it, but nice showing so far by Roca.
And that's number 85, Angus Button. I believe that's our first time calling his name on the reception. So 3rd down, just across the midfield stripe. No real surprise. A little confusion as to where everyone's supposed to be aligned, but Roca brings 3 receivers to his right. Gill split out way left. Wouldn't be surprised if he targets him again. Oh, and then immediate pressure right up the gut. In this case scenario, the Roca had no chance. That's number 45.
Darren Cornell again. That's his second or maybe possibly even his 3rd sack of the day today.
Yeah, he's going to challenge definitely for the defensive player of the conference with his performance today.
That's one thing Darren always brings to the table is he can definitely rush the passer. He's got long limbs that can really get after the passer. Makes it very difficult for the offensive tackles to block him.
Yeah, with 5:38 left in this game, the clock is winding in. 50 yards to go. A number of backups on both teams, still trying to play it out, and that's why we're going to give it its respect and call it. All of these young men here practice all day long, all season long. And they're going to get an opportunity. Jarubas at fullback, Becerra at tailback, Brandon Riem at quarterback. Becerra leaves. Riem looks left. He's trying to throw it to Kaw. The ball gets caught up in the wind. That's Russo. And Russo looks like he stays up for the touchdown. And Brandon Riem does get his opportunity to make a play. And fortunately for him, there was no safety over top to make it because that ball really did hang up.
He throwing that ball into this stiff wind. Nice job by Russo adjusting to that, and I think Russo is going to get a penalty here at the end of the play just for a little excessive celebration. Not a big deal, just threw the ball up in the air, but didn't hand it to the official.
So Clark Green and the rest of the PAT unit are going to try to make their attempt. There was a nice block at the end of it by Kaw, who put a pretty big hit to allow Russo to continue to stretch his legs out and high step his way into the end zone. So, like you said, there was a little excessive, objectionable conduct. You don't want to see that, but some of these kids get a little excited. They might not have played as much all season long.
Yeah, and he wasn't taunting anybody. He was just excited that he threw the ball and just threw the ball up in the air and he got the penalty.
And we get the kick up, and we get the kick good, and that's extending that lead 61-7. Exactly 5 minutes left in this game. There's no doubt who's going to win. The Fratmen are going to improve their record to 5-0. You're going to get the Hurricanes, who are going to fall back into a 4-2. And with the earlier season defeat, I mean, this Hamilton team has now given up between the 35 the first time around and the 61 this evening. Or this afternoon, I should say. That's 96 points against 21. Obviously, there's no tiebreaker situation when it's 2-0. One of the factors for home field was you needed the Hamilton Hurricanes not only to win this game, but to exceed the point difference from the first game. And obviously, that's not going to be the case. However, Hamilton still controls their own fate. They have to regroup and focus so that they don't see the Fratmen earlier than the finals.
Yeah, and obviously the game's out of reach now. The biggest thing here is staying healthy, getting home, and preparing for your next game. This game is over as far as the score goes, but doesn't mean that they can stop competing. And I think that's what Coach Hayes talked about again. We won't go back to that, what he spoke at halftime. They just haven't competed well enough today. And that might be a concern coming into the playoffs. So they need to bounce back from that.
I will give credit to both sidelines, though. The coaches have done a good job of at least keeping their players sort of on a wraps, as we see a shorter kick again, but this time it's handled a little more cleanly, and that's number 43. And anytime you get near one of the team sidelines and there's a big hit, people get a little excited. But that's clean, that's solid, that's excitable football. Good on everybody getting out of there pretty clean. And to finish my point, though, both sidelines the coaches have done a good job of keeping the guys that are engaged and not losing their cool and making sure they're getting the proper reps to move forward.
Yeah, when you get a game like this that the score gets out of hand early and by a lot, there's a tendency sometimes that players will start taking liberties, especially when you're on the short end of that score. But Hamilton has been able to contain their cool, and AKO, knowing that they've been up, there's no reason for them to retaliate to anything.
So with, once again, a number of substitutions on both sides, you have Roca, who is going to play quarterback with 3 to his right. Looks left, is going to throw left, and this time it's intercepted, and it's Story who reaches back and makes the interception, and he's working up that right sideline, and he's looking to get to the end zone, and it looks like he has enough of a seam. And I believe for the first time today, the defense is on the scoring side, but we do have a flag on the play. And there's no sense of urgency to move forward from the referee, so I would suspect that this is a penalty that is indeed against AKO, and it's a pass interference.
No, I think it's just a block in the back behind the play. So that interception will count, and it's going to be first down AKO.
Good pickup. You are correct. That is a block in the back signal from Jeff Dragic. So the touchdown comes off the board. The defense doesn't score, which would have then completed the trifecta with the offense obviously scoring. The special teams have scored. I guess the defense have scored if you can figure that 2-point safety was conceded to them earlier.
And when you look back in film and you make a highlight film, that's still the defensive touchdown. So we'll give that to them.
Yes, and that was very good ball skill demonstrated by Story. He was able to reach back, handle the ball pretty cleanly and again, he's a defensive secondary player. It's not his primary position, catching the ball. and he then showed off his running ability. So we have Bezaire and Darubis with Riom. And it looks like they're going to bring Bezaire off the right side. He slips a little, but then he's just piled up, and he fights forward for, looks like about a yard. And with 3:30 left in this game here, I do see about 2 or 3 offensive linemen. 2, it looks like, have been changed out. That's good. I know Josh Da Silva got up slowly once, and he's definitely been moved out. They got the number 2 center in.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody left on that AKO bench that has not seen some quality play in this game.
Oh, and a bad snap, and that is a fumble recovered by Hamilton. And it looked like the center snapped it thinking that the quarterback was under center.
Yeah, which is odd because I think we've only seen one snap under center. And again, that earlier in the game, that was a fumble as well.
That was awesome. We did see Brandon go under one for that one quarterback sneak that he pushed forward for 5 or 6 yards.
True.
But this is the first time I've seen a new center in. And again, they don't get a lot of reps. You've said that earlier. This is something he has to learn from. It's a mistake. He didn't feel the quarterback's hands underneath. And if he did indeed snap it like he was under center, okay, you gotta hammer that out, because in a game when it counts, you can't have that. Roca back at it. Full attack from the Hamilton receiving corps. Quick hitch, and that's Gill, it looks like, again, who's carrying the ball pretty loose. And you've said it a couple times that the ball's come out, but good catch, good run.
Yeah, it seems like he does have some strong hands. He went down low to catch that ball and was able to cradle it back up into his body and get upfield for the first down.
And we have the indication that we are now under 3 minutes, so the 3-minute warning has officially been indicated with 2:38 and counting on the game clock with your home Windsor AKO Fratmen here at Lajeunesse High School with a commanding 61-7 lead. Roca in no rush, checking out the defense, barking out signals, takes the snap, look left, and he's taking a shot up the seam and overshoots his receiver, and it looked like triple coverage.
Yeah, just, good job by AKO. Staying deep, give up anything short, just don't give something cheap over the top. And, that ball gets thrown over top, incomplete, brings up 2nd and 10 for the Hurricanes.
And you see a picture there of Coach Hayes. He's talking to his quarterback. He's giving him his calls. I wouldn't be surprised if they see a little bootleg action, see if this guy can run, because I know that's a big part of Coach Hayes' arsenal. He likes to set you up, and he likes to give the quarterback a little bit of flexibility to run. So a little fake to Wilson here, and maybe a little spin-out action boot. No, straight drop, looks up, steps up, and he's gobbled up again. And it's taken. This time the defense looks like it's going to score. And this is number 19. And this is going to be Devontae Pierce, who sacked, stripped, and scored the touchdown. So now all 3 facets of the game have scored a touchdown.
Yeah, great job by Devontae Pierce, just ripping that ball out of the quarterback's hands and taking it the distance for a score the other way.
And with 1:54 left, we have a 60-point difference. As it stands, 67-7, and Clark Green's going to come out and try yet another kick. That's what, 9 touchdowns? It's just a lot of points. It's a lot of points. Low snap, and Brandon Riem gets it up, and that completes the scoring, and that's going to make it 68-7. And that's not a case where anyone's going to say that they're trying to run it up. A defensive player gets his opportunity to make a play.
Absolutely not. And then, when you look at the score and look in the box scores and you see a 68-7 score, and you might think that that's the case, but it's not. It's just kids out there playing right to the whistle, and good on Devontae. He might not get a lot of opportunities to do exactly that, but making a play like that, that's going to force the coaches now to take a look at that. What can he do in the first quarter as opposed to doing it in the fourth quarter of a blowout?
Absolutely, and if anyone had kicker Clark Green on their fantasy team, that's a lot of points there. 9 converts, so you kick the field goal. You top that off with the safety. I mean, they've just piled it on. 9 touchdowns, 7 offensive touchdowns, 1 punt return touchdown, defensive score.
Yeah, just a total domination in this game. And I don't think anyone, if you would have said the score coming into this game, that nobody would have thought that this would have happened today.
Because I think Hamilton is the clear number 2 in the league. I don't know if like they just came off beating London not too long ago, where London usually starts to contest and climb to that number 2 or number 3 type position, and it's remarkable. It's remarkable seeing they didn't have any real rust. Kick right to the middle of the field, handled cleanly. It's that Nia Wilson once again, and he's going sideways, and he's going to get bottled up. He's going to be tackled at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and then we get an offside call against AKO on that. Again, I think they've got a lot of guys changed it down on that kickoff, so they're not used to the rhythm of Green kicking. So sometimes you're gonna see that.
Yeah, and this is usually one of the options that are exercised by most coaches, right? You just have the coverage team on. They're tired now. Make them kick it again.
Absolutely. Yeah. Give yourself an opportunity to make a play.
And there's a close-up look at head referee Jeff Dragic, who indicated that it was indeed an offsides. So Clark might need to hit the ice bath as well. To get that leg stretched out. Well, moving forward, what do you do with this game tape if you're Hamilton?
Well, I believe there's is there a Taylor Swift song? Shake It Off.
Yeah.
Yep. Just don't even watch it. There's no sense. You're not going to get anything out of this. Just got to move forward.
Yeah, that would be the prudent decision. I would agree with that, Coach. There's no doubt about that. And we're going to try this again. And it looks like we have another offsides again, and this is a booming kick. And this is all the way bumbled all the way back into the end zone. And then Nia Wilson's now tap dancing, and the pile up is just there. But they're going to have to kick again because this was offside, and it wasn't even close. There was 4 or 5 yards.
And you know what? Green, you might want to actually decline this because Green kicked it even further this time. Yeah, he's warming up his leg, kicking it 3 times in a row. So, he might put this through the end zone this time.
Yeah, you back him up just a little bit further and further. And now, as we get to a minute 30 left in this game, and the sun is starting its descent to set, and it's been behind clouds most of this afternoon, but now it's just shining straight into us. And I think the cosmic world is even telling us, listen, every dog has had its day. The sun has shined, and let's call it an afternoon.
Well, shined on one team, that's for sure tonight.
It did. And right now, where it is shining, it is indeed on that team. This kickoff coverage, and you can see the glare in our picture right now. The sun is shining through. Let's try this again. Let's see where their fitness is. Emphasize, keep your leverage, stay onside. I mean, they're excited. It looks like they're excited. Everyone's amped up. Let's see if Clark can really stretch his leg out. And now kicking from his 35-yard line, see if he can find the end zone. And there we go, kick to the right, and it is handled cleanly, and this time the field position is going to be much improved, but he's going sideways. Let's see if he can establish that edge. And he cannot, as Demetrius Kaw, who is a receiver, uses his long arms and his leverage to make a tackle.
Yeah, Wilson's not going to beat anyone to the edge. He's got to, maybe they got to look at getting someone else back there because he does not like to run towards where his blockers are.
And you've noted that a few times already. And with a minute 15 left, we're seeing Coach Hayes send a play in with Roca. He's going to let these guys finish this out in dramatic fashion. He's going to try. And there you see Levi Noel has a smile on his face. Leader, you see Steven Russo there. They're all just sort of relaxing, watching their teammates. Looks like everyone's unscathed, at least on the Fratmen sideline. Roca looks to his right, quick hitch, finds his receiver, tries to get to the sideline and gets out of bounds after about a 7-yard pickup.
Yep, good solid play there. Again, first down is key, and that's what we've seen most of the day today by AKO. They're able to get positive yards on first down. That opens up their entire playbook for second down. And Hamilton hasn't had the same fortune as AKO has in that regard.
One thing I did like to see there is Gill, who's been a starter from the moment this game kicked off. He's had a lot of opportunities to handle the ball. He turned and blocked right away for his receiver, so he hasn't given up, and they're just trying to execute right now just to finish it off in this final minute here. Inside run, new running back, looks like he's going to lower his shoulder and try to fall forward and extend the ball. It looks like he has enough for the yards to gain, and we'll see what number we can get so we can give him his credit. That's number 38, and that is Doug Granger, who I believe had a carry earlier, or maybe a reception, but he stuck his nose in there and got a first down as we finally get under a minute with a 68-7 lead for the Fratmen. And here we go. 2-3 more plays left. Roca calling for it. Looks to his right, throws, doesn't really set his feet, but his receiver comes back to it, makes a catch for him, and that is Aldis Dabuls Witola. Second down and 4. Good on this kid. He's getting his signals from the sidelines. We're rolling in bodies. This is all part of the practice and execution. They have to know, hear it, see it, execute it. This is more for Coach Hayes from a perspective of making sure he has his guys ready for the future.
Yeah, it's one thing to do it in practice against same color jerseys, but when you're out in game situations, you can't simulate that speed in practice.
He looks back, steps up into the pocket, trying to take his home run ball, and it's Tyler Story who's the closest person to make that play. And with 7.8 seconds left, a clean hit. Got there, he stepped in. I like to see a quarterback step into the pocket. It seems like a tough kid. They're going to give one more crack on third down, and this should likely be the last play of what would seem like a extremely long afternoon for the visitors.
Yeah, and then which will be a long trip back home as well.
I guess the only saving grace for them is they still get to maybe enjoy a Saturday night. These are young men who might want to go out, hang out with some friends, maybe have a date, do something, and there's a quick little out, and that's number 85 who catches the ball, spins out of it. And that should wrap it up as Angus, but no, I stand corrected. The time clock did not continue to run. They left 1.2 on it.
Well, they got a first down. Let's give them another shot.
Absolutely. So this will be the final play, barring a penalty. And now it is blown in. We got the zeros on the clock. There is no horn, but we definitely know this is going to be it. And here we go. 3 receivers to Roca's right. Granger in the backfield, looks left, steps up into the pocket, throws over the middle, and to no avail, and that ends the game. And we don't have any flags. We don't have anything else happening, and we are going to say the final score one more time as you see it in our screen. It's the Windsor AKO Fratmen 68-7, and I believe we're going to send this to a quick commercial.
Tom is trying to justify buying a new car. That should do it.
Need a good reason? There's never been a better time to get yourself into the best-selling car in Canada for 17 years. Now during the Honda Model Clearout, get a $1,000 Civic bonus when you finance any new 2015 Civic model.
It's not just about hockey. It's about getting your great education too.
Academics are equally, if not more important, than athletics. The Hockey Canada Skills Academy is a great opportunity for any student athlete to live their dream and chase their passion. It gives them an opportunity to get a workout in the morning, they're physically and mentally engaged, and it helps them as a student as well throughout the day. Our program is not just for the elite athletes, it's for everyone.
Imagine a place to climb, to tumble, to fly, to run, to glide, to achieve, where a sense of health, friendly competition, and growth all come together. Can you imagine that place, that destination? We have, and we're building it right now in Windsor, with a planned development of almost 200,000 square feet of athletic playground, and that's just on the inside. Central Park Athletics, some of it's already here, the rest is coming soon. Imagine that.
Like our champions, we know what it takes to win. Every day we put on our uniforms and we strive to be the best. Ring after ring, we keep practicing until it becomes second nature. Our craftsmen have put in thousands of hours to master their trade. And when things get tough, we make the adjustments needed to stay on top. Baron Championship rings. This is who we are.
Welcome back to Lajeunesse Field, the site of OFC football here on WeTV. The AKO Fratmen improved to 5-0, a very convincing victory here this afternoon over the Hamilton Hurricanes, 68-7. Our player of the game comes from the defensive side of the ball. Darren Quinnell joins us on the broadcast. Good afternoon, Darren. I'm with the outcome. Do you think you and your teammates maybe a little surprised?
It's a little shocking, but we came out, we worked hard. We knew we were going to come out. We had a lot of rest. Came out, everyone was focused. We didn't let the long break get to us, and we didn't want to come out flat.
How tough?
Too much worry. We knew we practiced hard all the 3 weeks we were off, so we knew we were coming out guns blazing, ready to go. Yeah, we played good as a whole team all around. Offense moved the ball well. We stopped them pretty good on defense, so I think we played our best game tonight.
Speaking of defense, 3 sacks for you. You were on fire. There and your contribution.
I felt pretty good. I felt fresh. We had a lot of time off, so it was just nice to have a lot of rest. And we rotated a lot today. We got our subs in, so I was always fresh every series, so that was good too.
How might be a crazy.
It can get better. We can always wrap up more. Sometimes we took the hit instead of delivering it, and so we want to fix that at practice next couple weeks.
All right. Well, enjoy this one. Good luck next week, and I'm sure we'll talk down the road.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Right. Our player of the game, Darren Quinnell, an outstanding outing here for him this afternoon. I'm going to get Coach Mike Lajeunesse. Darren, go see your family and your fan club over there. I'm sure. I'll grab him in just a moment, and give me a second. Where did I lose Mike Lajeunesse? Need you, Coach. Celebrating, folks. It's okay. He's celebrating. We're going to let him celebrate. He should be very proud of.
Have 3 weeks off like that, you don't really know what to expect out of the team, especially when you're playing a very good team in Hamilton. We didn't expect to put points like that on the board on them, but you know what? Sometimes that's the way it goes. And I told our guys in the playoffs we'll face them again, and you never know what you're going to get. Hamilton's much better than they look today.
Yeah, and I think Coach.
And you know that I told our guys, coach is confident in the defense and the special teams when we lose the toss and elect to defend an end. They deferred, we defended an end, so essentially we're giving them a possession. But I feel so confident in our defense and the physicality that we play with that defense is an advantage for me. So and it worked right away. We're up 2-0 right at the start, and I think that kind of set the tone for the game. But on offense, we have some guys that are just, quite frankly, mismatches. They're hard to cover. A guy like Levi, if you don't double him, you're going to get punished. And that's what happened today. They single covered him. They didn't have a guy over him high in a bracket, and we took advantage of it.
I really
coach it up every game, and I know most coaches do that, obviously, but we're talking that there's no garbage time. It's 0-0 the whole game, and if you're a backup guy and you get in a 60-point blowout, it's not garbage time because coaches are watching, and we're going to evaluate the film from start to finish. And if guys want to make road dress roster, this is a competitive unit, and they want to get on the field and get playing time, the best way to earn it is to hustle and knock people down.
Yeah.
Returning guys have it in their mind that they want to be part of something special, and the first year guys to our team, whether they're rookies or they're guys who have come in from other programs across the country or universities, they kind of feel that and they feed off of it. So a guy like Austin Lumley, who wants it so bad, he wants to be that guy that leads us to a three-peat, and you don't want to talk about it every day, but at the same time, being part of something special does motivate everybody.
Is there a fix today? Fix the 50-50 ticket. Your wife.
Me?
She's got a. Okay, well, I guess that evens it out, I guess. So, Coach, congratulations. And Coach here this afternoon. His team now improves to 5-0. The numbers are very impressive for this AKO team. Hamilton obviously now falls to 4-2. AKO totally in control of their destiny now. If they continue on, obviously they're going to host not one but perhaps two playoff games here, including the OFC Championship. The three-peat is certainly available to them if they do want to pursue it that much more. So that's the story here this afternoon at the Lajeunesse Field, the new home of the AKO Fratmen. A very convincing victory. They win it 68-7 over the Hamilton Hurricanes. On behalf of Badia Kwas, Joe Monerick, the entire hard-working crew here at We-TV, this is Dominic Papa wishing you a great night. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you all again very soon.